Are you tired of being so confused? You feel like you're more fucked up than the lies on the evening news. Well, just step right in. We can talk about it all as friends. And if you want, we can hug and kiss and make up for the party ends. Agree or disagree, stop unfriend me. 'Cause I'm everything you want, damn sure what you need. I won't tell no lies, back up all the facts with truth. And if you can't get down with that, you must be somebody's dog. Come on now, can you feel the pain? Into him now, about this new world. Ain't no drag. Papa's got a brand new eye.
I feel very under pressure to come up with something super pithy, and I don't have anything except to say that this was a real treat. And I know
really
I speak
was.
for Daisy too when I say how much we appreciate you having us on. This was really, really fun. You've got a really fantastic outfit here at the Don't Unfriend Me show. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We love you guys. Like, you guys are, I'm instantly in love with you guys. The Don't Unfriend Me show is the best. And I gotta tell you, like, our team needs to step it up with this. Like the way that
the graphics and all the things.
Are you kidding?
Yeah,
This is fantastic.
That's all him.
Oh well, you even did it right.
I
Look
did
at you.
do
I'm
it
putting you.
right.
I got to do it this way. Yeah, I 5.5 years. I still can't figure out that the cameras are transposed.
I love it. It's
Listen,
great.
the fact that you took a minute just to even give us accolades means the world to us. And this is kind of cathartic for us, but it's also a goosebump moment because we consider y'all to be royalty in this industry, you know. And I think I know. Tonto said the same thing when I called him a hero, but it's important. You guys have a great voice. We love you. We hope we can do this again, and we will tag you, unlike some people.
And
Just
we'd love
kidding.
to do it again. You guys have us on. We'd love it anytime. It's super fun. And, we love this kind of stuff. We just love.
Hold on, everybody. We're almost there.
Adjusting transmitter output.
This is the Don't Unfriend Me show with your hosts, Matt, Leeroy, Amy, and Olivia. Geopolitics, military analysis, and election coverage. Coming to you live on all major social media channels at The Dumb Show. Honest, direct, unfiltered. We can agree, we can disagree. Just don't unfriend me.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Don't Unfriend Me show. Matt Spear. Sorry, we have a little bit of a snafu going on here. We're trying to get Rumble up, but Rumble is not responding. So no, we're seeing if we can get it right now, and we're checking it. So welcome to the Don't Unfriend Me show. It's good to have everybody here. Was an amazing day. We'll talk a little bit about that. Leeroy is in the house. Waiting for Rumble to respond. I'm sorry. 1 second, everybody. It's always something. It's the Don't Unfriend Me show. When will it be? It's Rumble's good. All right. So now we're ready to go. All right. Well, we got everybody on. Do me a favor. If you have not done this, I need you to do this. Whatever you are on, don't care what you're on, what platform, go do @Chicks on Right, @Chicks on Right, and tag them in this, whether it's YouTube, whether it's TikTok, Facebook, does not matter, @Chicks on Right, and tag them. They know. Just got done talking to Mock and Daisy, and they're aware. There's a video that we just posted on Facebook. You can tag them on that, but we just want to get this out across their channels And I know they're going to share this too. But welcome. We're going to have pre-recorded with the Chicks on the Right. We're really excited about that. Leeroy is in the house. Excited to have him here. Leeroy, welcome, buddy. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good with his new camera. Look, it looks.
Yeah, oh my God. You know, this looks amazing, first of all, and I can't thank you enough for not only sending me the hardware, the associated hardware that goes along with the camera, but all of the lights and everything else. So this has been fantastic. This is a tremendous upgrade over what I already had.
Yeah, dude, you look fantastic. You always look good, but now you really look good. So you guys saw the comments by Chicks on the Right. They were here on the show today. Olivia and I got a chance to sit down with them. We're hoping that this relationship continues. Maybe we go on their show. Perhaps they said they would be more than happy to come back. But we really want to share this with you because it was just one hell of a funny moment. I first want to share just a little clip that we did. That's about 2 minutes when the Chicks on the Right were talking about Candace Owens, and they're like, "Listen, we just want to call her the C word, and we want to do that. We want to do that early and often." And we decided all on the show to go ahead and knock it out. So want you to watch this. This is pretty good, and we will then get to the entirety. It's about a 15-minute interview. It's pretty damn good. I think you guys will appreciate it, and we'll get it started. But first, here is the C word heard around the world when it comes to people who actually dislike Candace as much as we do, which is exciting. Here it is.
What is your obsession with Brigitte? This Brigitte Macron in the swimsuit? You think that you can command people, men, straight men?
She's batshit crazy. Just batshit crazy.
I want to ask
off the deep end.
Yeah.
Jean Carroll may paint rocks and trees and be completely batshit, and the color of her batshit in her cave is a particular shade of crazy. But Candace Owens makes Jean Carroll look sane, and that, you guys, it's Chicks on Right. Chicks on Right at Chicks on Right, not Chicks on the Right. I know it's Chicks on the Right, but it's Chicks on Right. Okay. Just FYI, is terrifying.
Exactly.
And we listened to this woman at one point in the conservative movement.
Isn't it crazy?
Demon.
Yeah. Yeah.
Totally.
Absolutely.
And there are so many times. I mean, every single day, I'm fighting not to use the C word on our show.
Right.
Every day. It takes every ounce of will in my soul to not call her the C word. It's almost, and at some point, it's going to slip. I'm predicting it right now.
It's going to fall right out of her face.
It's going to tumble right out.
Just say, see you next Tuesday.
I've got an idea. Let's all do this together. Okay. We're going to just do it here on the show, but hold on.
Really?
Got one of those.
This will be such a release for me.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay.
So this is how it's going to work. No, Daisy, you need to let me run this, okay? Because this is important. If I miss the censor button, we're in deep shit, okay? So we're going to be like 1, 2. Now, this isn't lethal.
Are we going on 3?
No.
Wait. Do we do it on 3 or do it 1, 2, 3?
Then go.
Then do it.
Well, it's your ass, Cochise. I mean, it's up to you.
Listen, Murtaugh. It's 1, 2, 3. Say it. We don't go on 3. You go after 3. Okay.
Got it.
Right, so it's 1, 2, 3. Candace. No, not yet. That was a test.
All right.
Okay. All right. Here we go.
Okay.
So we've all become good friends because now we're yelling at each other. Okay, like I got it, but she let it slip. 1, 2, 3. Candace is a
Hunt.
Woo! We got Hunt. You're fine. You're covered. You're clear. I'll get it in post.
So good.
Catharsis.
I am going to clip that, and I'm going to become a hero.
That's amazing.
So funny.
That felt really good.
Doesn't it?
Didn't it?
I do
You
it every
okay?
night. I do it every night. It feels empowering. It was fun day, and we were excited to do it. You know, it's amazing when they say don't necessarily meet your heroes or the people you look up to. I'll tell you what, I've met quite a few people who I look up to or I consider heroes on this show, and none of them have been a disappointment, not one. Maybe the older millennial was a bit of a disappointment, but you know, he could come back and restore himself. Your thoughts on that? You listen to these ladies every morning, Leeroy.
I listen to them every day when in the car on the way to work. And a lot of times, this is where I get some of the pre news for what we're going to do later on in the show, right? If they give me some sort of, this is what happened in the last 12 or 24 hours. And then they always throw this additional flavor into it, this comedic tone that they have between the two of them. And honestly, they just talk like regular people, which is what everyone wants.
Yeah.
And I absolutely adore them. And I really loved Mock in Adventures in Babysitting. I was going to use that joke if I actually got to be on the, on the podcast with her. Yeah.
Well, listen, this was kind of like the phone call before the date, right? So, we exchanged phone numbers, and now the courtship happens, but it sounds like, repeatedly they're like, you'll hear it in the interview. Let's just get to it. Let's watch it, listen to it. It's an enjoyable
there's some trial there, right? I mean, we had the same thing happen when Trey came on, Trey Felder. Yeah. It was kind of like the pre-screening for when Damani showed up.
Yeah, and that took 2 years, and even a relationship with Wimkin, no matter how that ended, it took 2 years to kind of matriculate into something and grow into something. We're all about organic stuff. We don't want forced stuff. But it's kind of cool, which you'll see in the interview. We're talking about how they're like, listen, nobody invites us anywhere. And I'm like, well, it's kind of cool that we invited you and you showed up. I mean, this is a huge show. I mean, they're like up there ranked in the top, 20 of morning shows. And that's going against Good Morning America and the Fox and Friends and all of this. You throw all those together, they're a very popular morning show. Anyway, let's go ahead and get started. I don't want to grease the wheels anymore, but please do me a favor, share the hell out of this, folks. We need everyone to get this out as fast and as hard as we can. With no further ado, here is the interview with Chicks on the Right. Enjoy. Welcome everybody to the Don't Unfriend Me show. Olivia is in the house with me this afternoon. Hi, Liv.
Hello.
Hello.
Good morning. Good afternoon.
Good evening and good night. Truman Show.
Yep.
Little Truman Show.
Yep.
Listen, we're going to go fast. It's a little bit different. We know this is on pre-record, and it's all very awkward as we're watching ourselves, recording ourselves, interviewing the Chicks on the Right tonight. But this is a special thing, and these ladies are always working. So we had a choice to get on at noon and have a great conversation, and it wasn't a hard choice to make. Obviously, the Chicks on the Right are in the house tonight. I'm going to read, like I always do, just a quick intro to give you an idea of who these fine ladies are. The rise of the Chicks of the Right did not happen because two women chased internet fame. It happened because Mock and Daisy saw a media culture dominated by outrage, elitism, and people constantly speaking for women while dismissing conservative voices entirely. Instead of staying quiet, they pushed back with humor, honesty, and a style that felt real to everyday Americans. What made them different was authenticity. They never tried to sound like polished corporate pundits or scripted news anchors. They sounded like real people having conversations millions of Americans were already having privately. That connection helped turn a growing audience into one of the most recognized independent conservative brands in the country. Behind the humor and sarcasm is years of pressure, backlash, censorship battles, and nonstop attacks from critics who often reduce conservative women to stereotypes instead of engaging with what they actually say. Building an independent platform comes with risks most audience never see. There are no giant corporate teams protecting them. Every opinion, show, sponsor, and public appearance carries unsurmountable weight. What many people connect with most is that Mock and Daisy understand the frustration of ordinary Americans. People are exhausted by media narratives, political arrogance, and being constantly talked down to. Chicks on the Right build an audience by speaking directly to those people with humor, confidence, and authenticity. Their success also shattered a major stereotype. Conservative women are often portrayed. And you got good people, like when they go ahead and share your show after being up all morning, 4 in the morning, these two wake up. They do their full show. They go to bed early, and they're up and ready to help promote the show, and they don't ask for anything. What an amazing group of ladies. Anyway, just wanted to interrupt real quick and say that. Here's the rest. It is that silent, weak, or controlled by others. Mock and Daisy completely flipped that narrative and have empowered women all over the United States and, honestly, the world. They built influence on their own terms, refused to conform to cultural pressure, and created a platform that continues to grow because audiences trust that what they are hearing is genuine and authentic. I introduce Mock and Daisy to the Don't Unfriend Me show. Welcome, you two. It's good to have you both here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
What a
I'm
lovely
like ready to
introduction.
cry.
I know. Gosh.
That's the end of the show. Thanks for joining, folks. We'll see you next time on the Don't Unfriend Me show.
That was great.
That was really, really lovely. Thank you. Just
It
so your
really
audience
was.
knows, we did not tell him to say any of that.
No, like, but can I have? I'm gonna need a transcript of that to give to my family.
Yeah, are the 7,000 shekels in the mail? That's all I want to know. I just want my money. I want my money. Well, listen, we're big fans. Olivia and I, and a lot of people watch your show, and we cross pollinate our audiences. In fact, we have a troll that visits you every day who happens to visit us too, and we share that in common. Yes, we love our trolls.
We do too.
Aren't they the best?
They're so much fun.
So I want to kick it off by showing you a video of this morning that of your live show. And as I was, I got done working out and I was walking around, and this came on, and of course I was pulled in. And it's just a really good exchange of 2 minutes that help people understand who you all are, but also kind of kicks off our questions. So if you don't mind, we're going to watch that real quick, and then we'll come back and we'll do an interview. Sound good?
Okay.
Good. Here we go.
Hello. Good morning.
Hello.
Happy Tuesday to all you fine people. How you doing?
Good morning. Good
I
morning.
look like
good morning.
looks like my lights are doing weird things. I look gray right now.
I'm not seeing that.
Not a good look. Not a good look to look gray. I'm not gray, you guys.
I'm not seeing that. What
Okay,
you're
good.
seeing.
All right,
at
maybe
all.
I'm seeing something different. Oh, there it is. It's bright again. Good morning.
Oh, you probably had you.
I will be honest, I'm actually seeing not gray, but I see the difference in the hair color that you're talking about now that it's
Right?
on. Yes. So
It's
Daisy,
in the face. It's like, yeah. I'm pale. I'm like transparent pale, but I look even paler there, don't I?
I don't think I'd go that far. I was just going to say I noticed a slight difference in the hair color based upon light, but not that it was gray. But I'm with you. I'm picking up what you're putting down. Here's the rest.
Oh, you did. You just
What'd I
had your
do?
little mouse over your picture. If you hover your mouse over your picture, it turns gray. Don't do that.
Is that what it is? Okay. We're tech geeks. Look at us. Okay.
This is a professional outfit, as you can see. This is
Yes.
probably why Gad Sad has not retweeted our interview with him.
Yeah, Gad.
Because
What's up with
of
that,
our-
Gad? You know
because
what?
of the fact that we're not professional.
I'm sad about that, Gad.
I'm sad about Gad Sad too.
Gad is a great author. He also kind of coined the phrase of suicidal empathy. We've showed his clips on the show. So they had just got done interviewing and he didn't retag. Now, there's a clarification here because we talked about this in the green room. Of course, I was going to make this clarification, but Mock got to it before I did. So
they interviewed the guy and then he didn't tag them in the interview once it was all done?
no, that's not the case. In fact, this is what they said in the morning, but she found out
I gotcha.
post-show, posthumous from the show that this happened. So we corrected it and she corrected it. Here it is.
You guys should all tweet at him and say, "What gives, Gad Sad?" Retweet the interview. They gave you a platform. Come on. You know what I mean?
you really should.
You
I
should
don't
tweet at him.
You know what? We were talking about that in pre-show. We're like the outcasts of the conservative world. No one ever wants to retweet our crap, but they always like to come on our show. What is
Sounds
that?
familiar.
It's like the girls
Sounds
who like
familiar.
you date but you don't marry.
Right.
That's us, you guys.
Yeah. And we never get invited to the things.
I personally
We're
think
never
we
invited.
are marriage material, both of us. Hello.
I think it's just because we're old.
Is that what
But
it is? It's the old
I can't. I'm
thing?
just using that as an excuse because I have no idea. It could be age and unprofessionability.
You know what? I think old, we should stop calling ourselves old and we should start calling ourselves seasoned. Because we've been doing this for almost 20 years and some of these
We're seasoned.
chicks haven't. And you know what? Yeah, we're seasoned. We've done some things.
We're seasoned.
I'm
There it
going to
is.
tell my kids that
It's
from
settled.
now on. They keep telling me I'm old. I'm going to tell them I'm seasoned
I
now.
just seasoned.
Yeah.
Always the bridesmaid, never
Can
the bride.
Can I just say, just in case for some reason Gad Sad is watching, it's
Yes.
my bad.
Yes.
He did retweet, just so everybody knows and it's clear. I want to correct the record. He did actually tweet a link to our YouTube interview with him, but did not tag us. And so that is why I didn't see it. And I feel terrible. So Gad Sad did in fact marry us, and that felt good.
Yes.
I was
Clearly,
gonna-
after 17 years, we're very good at technology, as you can tell.
Right.
I was gonna put a caveat on this and say, listen, everything's good. The war is over. It's not a new battle on the right, the new woke right versus the regular right, because everyone seems to be
love
doing
him.
that. He's amazing, and his concept of suicidal empathy is profound, and a lot of people have been, using it, and I agree with it. So this is why I played the video. A couple of reasons. One is it shows your human nature, and that's important to discover because often. Folks, do me a favor. We're obviously growing in numbers pretty huge. We got 100 on Twitter. Just hit that like button. That helps. So if you're on Twitter, on Rumble, whatever it is, like, share, subscribe. Hit that on the video so it gets out to more people. I appreciate it. And I love that we already have a troll here that nobody's paying attention to. God, it just must be just infuriating being completely useless and pointless. We talked about it in the intro. Say what?
What channel is he on? Because I'm not seeing anything in Facebook.
It's on Facebook. You'll see. Yeah, scroll 4 comments back. You're hilarious, but there's also something hidden in there, some nuggets of truth that should be discussed. And it is the independent journalist or the independent podcast, the non-corporate sponsors have a very difficult time getting their words out because they go against the narrative. And we talked about in the pre-show is you guys push back. You push back against conservatives sometimes. You push back against the left, obviously, most of the time. Why do you think that resonates so well with so many people who are not in this political game every minute of the day and who aren't literally, have an IV connected to the feed? What resonates so well with your audience when you challenge other people who are extremely popular?
I think it resonates.
Of you. Sorry.
I guess because I personally think it's because we are we're like the every woman, you know what I mean? Like we're just normal chicks living in a.
Like Leeroy said, that the interesting thing is when we're in the green room, they're like, listen, do me a favor, because we'll interrupt each other, and we do too. We all understand what this feels like because we're remote. They're in Texas and respective another state, which we can't mention, but they're separate. So like Leeroy and I, and she's like, just address each question and just say, hey, this is for Mock or this is for Daisy. And of course, Olivia and I just completely failed miserably throughout the whole thing.
Normal world. We're not in the bubble. We're not in the DC bubble. We're not, living in that world. What do they call it? What do they call the DC bubble, Mock? What do they call it?
It's like the
hell.
The Beltway. We're not living in the swamp. We don't live there. We don't work there. And so like our politics has always been from a perspective of just regular normal people. And we've never gotten to the point where we're still that we're not normal. A lot of these people, they'll get to a different level and they lose touch with what it's like to be normal, and we don't know anything but.
Mock, when you think of that, I mean, this is something that you had a huge hand. You're both co-founders of it, but you had to make a tough decision and decide to break away on your own. Did that correlate with you wanting to have something just like this, or did this kind of grow on its own organically, or did you have a vision for what you wanted the show to be?
Well, Daisy is much more I need a business plan and I have a vision and we're going to do this and this and this, and that's going to get us there. I'm just along for the ride in many ways when it comes to that. But just to echo kind of what she said about the reason that we've resonated, it's so much exactly what she said in terms of us being like the every woman and I think very relatable. But that was a shared goal from the very beginning. So when we created our website, which was what really kicked it off, it was all about creating something that resonated in a way that sounded like everybody else talked about politics. Because, we would watch the news or whatever, and we would just be like, man, it's so wonky. What does that actually mean in layman's terms? And when we would go to lunch and talk about things, we would crack ourselves up. And we thought, why doesn't anybody talk about politics in this way, like where it's actually fun to discuss? And so we were like, why don't we just do that and see if people like it? And they did.
Yeah.
Was awesome.
Was it instantaneous or did it take a little bit to take off in your eyes? Rogan spent 13 years.
I don't know. I remember talking to you about it one day at lunch, and because we worked together. But I honestly don't remember how long it took from us to have like the idea and then for it to come to fruition. I know it was probably just a matter of months. We just said, let's just do this and see what happens. And then we committed to it. One of the things I think, because people will come to us and say, I want to start a podcast or I want to start a blog. I mean, back in the day when people were like really into blogging, and it's not so much a blog anymore, obviously, but there were years of blogging and everything. And so there was a time where we were blogging, and people would say to us, what can we do to do a blog? Like, how do you do it? Because we want to have what you guys have. And we would be like, well, work for 4 years for free, write like
Exactly.
6 times a day each, work, have 2 other jobs, while you do this. Because I think a lot of people just aren't willing to put in the work, frankly, that it takes. But for us, it was a labor of love. It wasn't like a chore for us to do it. We just loved doing it, and we're doing it together, and we're best friends. And so it was always fun. And it always has remained fun. And I think one of the things that, for both of us, if it stops being fun, we'll stop doing it. But
Right.
I don't think it's ever going to stop being fun, because we've been doing this 17 years, and I wake up every day and I get to do this with my best friend. Like, what a cool gig that is, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And
how did
you
you
asked
guys
about
meet?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Go ahead.
I
Go ahead,
apologize.
Mom.
No. I was just going to say about the timing, because you were like, how quickly did it take off or whatever. We were one of the OGs of having a Facebook page for our website, and back in the day, so this would have been probably 2010, I would say. We started having this active presence on Facebook, and back then it was chronological, that you would see things appear in your feed from a chronological perspective of people and pages that you followed. And it was great because we could post something and immediately thousands and thousands and thousands of people would see it. So our engagement and our reach on Facebook was extraordinary back in the day. And then there was this time where, again, we were the OGs for this, where Facebook threatened to shut down our page because a bunch of people mass reported one of our posts for being offensive or whatever. And so when that happened, because it was such a new phenomenon to be censored or, blocked by Facebook or whatever, it made national news, such that Whoopi Goldberg mentioned it on The View. Like, we still have that recording of when she was like, the chicks on the right got blocked on Facebook. And it was like this big deal.
And she was like, what a cool name. Yeah.
Yeah. She liked it back then.
Yeah.
So this was in 2012, right? Yeah. 2012, early 2013. And because all of a sudden,
10-1 odds Whoopi Goldberg is the person that reported them. I'm just got a feeling, you know what I mean?
we had this
Go
national
ahead.
attention.
Go ahead.
Something that they hadn't really touched on yet, but I think a lot of the allure for them, is that 56% of American women identify as leaning left. So that puts them in the minority. And when you have a minority voice, and it's something that you weren't expecting. And I'm not going to compare them to Candace Owens, but I'm going to say that, way back in the day, Candace was so far like, oh my God, a black woman who's saying these these conservative things. You'd have thought like you broke a mold. And to a degree, there's some level of similarities there. Mock and Daisy are in the minority for their demographic. And so it was a refreshing voice. It was a refreshing perspective to have these chicks come on and start, they're not only having fun with each other. Now, obviously they laugh all the time, which I love. But to give their perspectives on stuff, I think has carried a lot of weight with a lot of people.
Yeah. We do talk a little bit about that in the future here in the show. No, but it's a really good point, and it's gonna segue nicely. I think that's coming up here on the next one, folks. This is the Don't Unfriend Me show. We had chicks on the rights on this morning at the pre-record. They can't be on this late. They're on essentially the opposite ends of the clock of us. They're on at 8 a.m. We're on 7 to 9 p.m. So they decided to come by today, as many people have. I just found out today that we are now booked in through October 1st.
Busy.
I can't even joke about it. May, June, July, August, September, all the way to October 1st, we're booked. Scott Lebedo also confirmed today. He'll be on next Wednesday, which will be amazing to have Scott on. And it just keeps going and going and going. And I have a feeling this is going to be just another bridge with these two, because we all just got along really, really well. We imagine that this will continue. So enjoy this. By the way, donation clock is open. I didn't have a chance to talk about it. We're going for 300 tonight. If you guys like our show, unlike the chicks and other people, we don't have sponsors. We are 100% independent, and we require just your participation in the show. But also, if you're willing to help out, you can. And you can give $1, $5, $10, $500, $5,000. We've had all denominations. and it helps the show, and it goes directly to us. Nobody else gets that. So if you want to help out, go to thedumbshow.com/donate. Here is the rest of the interview.
And that's when we got approached. We were both living in Indianapolis at the time, and we got approached by a local radio program director then. And that's when our radio show began. And that's really when everything sort of took off.
Wow.
Yeah. And we thought when we first were called in for radio, we thought, oh, they want to just interview us. But then we went to lunch with some of the people at the station, and everything, and they wanted us to do an actual show. And we were like, oh my God, this is amazing. So we immediately quit our jobs and did that, and the rest is history.
Perfect. That's the only way to do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
So you guys said you were best friends. How long have you known each other, and how did you guys originally meet?
It's such a because it's such a serendipitous story. Like, I mean, I think that I
think I developed a crush on Daisy right then. Yeah, right then. Anybody that used the word serendipity or surreptitiousness or any other form of the word is my hero. It's one of my favorite words in any language. I just think serendipity. It's a beautiful word, and she won my heart, even though she's a ginger. There it is.
Interject because she's so good at telling it. But I will just say that I think we are meant to be best friends. Like, I am a big faith-filled person. Like, I believe everything happens for a reason, and I truly believe that we were meant to meet and do this and be best friends. And it's just so divine the way that everything worked out. I mean, I went to elementary school with her husband, and it's just, everything is just so full circle with us, but she's much better at telling the story than I am.
Well, you gave away the punchline almost.
Right. So,
this is why
Daisy, way to bury the lead, Daisy.
Sorry. This is why she does the intro, right?
But I mean, but that is actually true. I was in recruiting and she was a medical writer. And so there was absolutely no reason for us to cross paths. But because I was recruiting for a technical writer at one point, I interviewed her on the phone. And this was back in 2007. And I loved her. But at the time, there was like an internal hire, whatever. For whatever reason, it didn't work out. But at the time, because her maiden name is so unusual, I remembered it. It's like, I didn't remember it like just offhand, but if I saw it again, I would be like, oh my God, I've talked to that person. And that's exactly what happened about a year later. And so all of a sudden on Facebook, I see that one of our groomsmen had just friended Amy Jo Clark, and I won't give away her maiden name, but I recognized the name that our groomsman from Georgia was friends with. And I immediately sent him a message, and I was like, how do you know this Amy person? She's in Indianapolis where I am, and like, you're in Georgia. Like, how would you know her? That's so crazy, because I interviewed this woman last year. And he said, oh, I grew up with her, and so did Ron, my husband. And I was like, what? So I asked Ron, who was in the room with me, I was like, do you know Amy Jo? And he said, yeah. I totally grew up with her. And I was like, oh my God. So I immediately had to write her. And at that time it was a Facebook message. And I sent her a message, and I was like, I know you're not going to remember me, and this is a crazy small world story, but I have to tell you that I interviewed you last summer and you grew up with my husband. Isn't that so weird? She was like, yeah, crazy person. That's
stalker.
Super
yeah,
Stalker.
She was a little stalkery at first. And then she was like, listen, can you come in? She was like, can you come in and interview? Sorry about my dogs, you guys. I think my husband's taking care of it, but she was like, can you come in and interview for this job? And I said, listen, I already took another contract position. It starts on Monday. I cannot come in. I can't do that. And she convinced me to do it. So I came in, it was like, I was starting on a Monday at this other position. I came in and talked to her on a Thursday, and I think like within the first 5 minutes, I'm like, did we just become best friends? Because
she's like, I'm outside your house right now, and I can't wait to talk.
She became way less creepy, and like I thought, we're going to be really, really good friends. And so I immediately, like within the first hour of that conversation, she convinced me to work at her company. I rescinded my offer from the other company, which I've never done. It was so unprofessional. So unprofessional. And so I did that. And then I went and worked with her, and we worked together for 2 years, right, Mary?
Yeah, something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We worked together for like 2 years. And during that time, that's when we started Chicks on the Right. That's because we were going to lunch every day. And it was really weird because we were talking about politics at lunch, like eating chips and salsa. That's when Obama had his rise to power. And it was weird because we were like, why is this guy so popular? Like, he kind of sucks, but he's just this cult of personality. And we talk about it every day. And to Mary's point, as she was saying, we didn't see anything in the landscape. It was sort of like one of those see a need, fill a need type situations where we didn't see anything out there that looked like us, talked like us, represented us. And now there are a lot of conservative women that do what we do. But back then in 2009, there simply wasn't. And so I think, we were not saying we were trailblazers, but I think we just didn't. It was a lot of white, old, stodgy dudes in suits talking about politics. And we were like, yeah, that's not really our thing. So we started it because we wanted to make sure that other women like us felt that they were included in the tent, and it resonated with people. We thought at first, it's just going to be our parents reading this thing.
Right.
And it wasn't. And we were like, wow, people actually are reading this. This is crazy. And then we just hunkered down. And it was one of those things where, we wrote early.
Yeah, JD says when Matt on the right makes the same face as Matt on the left, Twilight Zone. Yeah, it's a little weird watching sometimes I go, what, wait a second, where are we? It's weird seeing us in the interview watching it. I usually
picture a Matt going on a journey beyond sight and sound
into the sector zone. It was weird. But
as he watches the Chicks on the Right interview with himself, he's entered the Don't Unfriend Me show.
That's right. It's pretty weird, but yeah.
In the morning, we wrote, on our lunch hour, we wrote at night. We were constantly writing for this blog.
Folks, pretty sure we're getting throttled on Facebook pretty hard. We're crushing Twitter. Over 156 watching, but folks, we're going to need some help on Facebook. If you have not shared on Facebook, please do. Usually we're up in the hundreds. Of course, they're throttling us because God forbid if a conservative voice gets out on Facebook. But help us out. See what you can do. We appreciate you.
And we did a lot of long form stuff back in the day when people still read. Remember when people read things? Now they don't read anymore. It's like people don't read and they want things in like short chunks. And we've adapted over the past 17 years. And, I think other people didn't. That's why some people went by the wayside, they didn't do exactly what we did, but we saw a lot of people come and go that we knew during that time. And I think we've just always been adaptable, and we've always put our country and our families first.
Right.
And we just, and each other. Well, you're my family. So, we've just always made those things our priorities. And I think that's why we're still standing. We're old, but we're still doing it. You know what I mean?
You guys keep saying that. Listen, you're giving me a freaking complex. Okay. Cause I'm like there, wait a second. Oh my God, I'm old too now. So here, this is a good segue because Todd, good interruption, says the Avalanche played a great game last night. The Wild thought the game was over when they got their first goal. Way to go, Colorado. I love watching your streams when I get a chance to. Yeah, the Avs definitely responded. I think they go home and finish the job. They're up 3-1. That's a commanding lead. The Avs are an incredible team. So we'll see what happens, but looks pretty good for us. I don't think we lost 3 games in a row. I don't think we lost 2 in a row all year. So we'll see what happens. Here's the rest of the show. It talks about really the theme of your show, which is family, patriotism, faith, and these are common reoccurring themes that you kind of bring things, and of course a great level of humor. But why are those 3 things, just actually 4 things, so resistant from the left, and why do they push back? They're impervious to those. They reject faith, they reject patriotism, they reject family. We understand their values and what they do, from abortion to rejecting God and to transforming kids and all these things that's happening. Why do you think that is, Mock? Because I think you had an earlier video that you kind of touched on some of those things. So I'd like to kind of pick your brain on that and see what you think.
Well, I think a lot of it has to do with the appeal of claiming victim status. And so when you allow yourself to blame your own circumstances on somebody else or on external forces of some kind, then you don't have to take responsibility for your own life. And when you're not personally responsible, you're automatically not conservative, right? And then the people that tend to see everything through victimization glasses end up getting mad and feeling hatred towards everybody that they feel is the reason for their victimhood. So as long as they're blaming external forces, that is who they hate. And blaming, I think generally liberals tend to be very miserable. And so they're miserable. And when they're miserable people, they're less likely to, attract somebody to have families with. And so all of it is like one big circular thing. They create their own misery because they don't take responsibility for their own happiness, their own success, their own lives, really.
Right.
Yeah, we're the party of personal responsibility, and that actually includes happiness. That includes your own happiness and your lot in life. And I think we've always felt that way. We teach our kids to feel that way and look at the world that way. And they just have such an incredible lack of humanity. Like they don't revere humanity, and that is concerning. And then they are, like to Mock's point, they're miserable freaking people.
Yeah, when there's no objective morality and no objective truth, it's easy to go ahead and not believe in anything. And that
right.
It correlates to just about every position that they have, is that as long as it's about self, it doesn't really matter what happens to the individual, because the collective so-called good, but there's nothing around it. It's a fabrication. It's subjective truth. And it's the basis of nihilism. I mean, and it's unfortunate, and I happen to agree with you, that there used to be a definition between the two. There would be leftists and people who are more socialists, and then there would be the blue dog Democrats and the moderate Democrats. Those lines have long since blurred, and there is no more separation. Either you realize what's happening on the left is completely wrong, or you don't. And this is really what it's come down as, more of a good and evil thing.
Yeah, that was a very good explanation.
Yeah.
Very good
explanation.
Yeah,
it was. Excellent. Yeah, you're absolutely right. We talk about that a lot, where it is a lot of good versus evil. And like we're not like we don't talk about faith a lot on our show, but it is like we're in spiritual warfare times. Like these people are just whack, like they're mutilating kids, and I mean, they're doing stuff that are just because when you've been around half a second, you look around and you're like, our America looks a lot different than it did like when we grew up in the 80s. We're Gen Xers, and so we look at what's going on and we're like, you're a freaking idiot. Like, of course, leave the kids alone. Let the kids be kids. I mean, it's like, and that's just one of handfuls of issues that we're having to deal with these people, where they just are on the wrong side of things. Like they always side with criminals. They side with the people who want to, mooch off the country. They side with anybody and everybody, but law-abiding, tax-paying, good citizens who love this country.
Go ahead, Leroy.
Isn't it funny how we can start to pick apart the different personality traits that are almost identifiable by each party? And something that both of them had mentioned is that the qualities, the things that are important to them individually, for me, and this is something that I found that seems to be, I don't know that it exists for everyone on the right, but certainly the majority of people on the right have certain qualities. The very first one is this sense of gratitude. If you can be it's the very first virtue that opens the door to literally all other virtues. If you can be thankful for things in your life, either your friends, your family, having a job, your health, whatever the case is, it literally opens the door for every other appreciation that someone might have. And I just
did you hack the show? Did you watch it? Like, did you get into my computer? Let me guess. When I sent you the computer, I didn't delete my Apple account. So you'd watch this already, because you are literally talking about the entire next segment, and I love it. In fact, this proves my this. Wait till you hear it, because you're going to be like, holy shit! Because not only does it talk about exactly what you just talked about, but I even call out that there is a consensus amongst conservatives where we kind of all learn the same idiosyncrasies through religion, through faith, through patriotism. And the left doesn't have that blueprint. They have no guide. They've rejected all of the things that create moral consciousness in our society. You say it beautifully, buddy.
Well, you're right, okay, except that they do have a blueprint. It's just that that blueprint looks like victimization, things that are owed to them, which is why so many of them enjoy this idea of a gigantic social safety net, right? It is, shifting blame, and it is Mock actually mentioned it. It's a lack of personal responsibility. Those four qualities, I hate to say it, but for every liberal or every far leftist that I've ever met, it's virtually embedded in the Marxist playbook.
And Solinsky, but here's the thing, that's deconstructionism. So a blueprint is a design to build something. Their blueprint, so to speak, is just literally a guide stone for deconstructionism. So it's a euphemism, I understand that, and I know exactly what you're saying. They do have a blueprint for what they're doing, but it really is to destroy
it's like
what
personality traits. But
but it's designed to destroy what's been created. It creates instability, division, separation. It's deconstructionism 101. And so it's a great point. Yeah, do wait till you hear this, because I chime in, because the fact that you're seeing the path of where this goes demonstrates that I don't think it's communal thinking. It talks about there's a difference between tribalism and a tribe. And the right, most assuredly, is a tribe. We're a tribe of people that believe very succinct and non-unique ideology and beliefs. And you've got something completely different, which is tribalism, which is blind faith and to go along with whatever is popular. That's tribalism.
Tribalism is when Jim Jones hands you the glass of Kool-Aid and says, drink up.
Right.
To be a member of a tribe would say, no, don't do that.
Right.
What's
in the drink?
Out for you. Right.
What's in the drink? And you're empowered to ask those questions of the people giving you the drink. And other than that, they don't put a bullet in the back of your head for questioning why you drank something or didn't drink something. There's the difference between tribes and tribalism. We talk about that too. Here's the rest of the show, folks. Also, do me a favor, like, share, and subscribe. Get that out there. We've got now we're sitting at 190 on Twitter. And moving up a little bit on Facebook. Help us out. Keep this shared. And it's just a little bit of a slower night, but that's okay. We're going to get past the algorithm and break through it, hopefully, at the 8 o'clock hour like we usually do. When Tim Pool comes on, we seem to get overflow. Here's the rest.
Yeah.
Go ahead, babe.
So with social media right there, and you're talking about, division and outrage, and that seems to be where social media lives. Everyone loves, the whole division, the Candace Owens, the Tucker Carlsons. How do you guys balance your entertainment with actually informing and telling the truth to your audience?
That's deep. Which one? You got to pick one, remember?
Oh, excuse me.
We're so failing. We're so here. You know what? We're going to give ourselves the first wanker alert. Hold on.
Wank.
It's on us. We're failing.
Sorry.
Okay. Go ahead.
Mock, I'll direct that one to you.
Why don't you like Daisy? What's wrong with you?
Oh my gosh.
What's wrong with Daisy?
Well, Mock and I kind of built a relationship with our emails back and forth. So
That's right.
Totally. You guys
anyway,
are BFFs
so
now,
Mock, I have another question too. Just kidding, go ahead.
Okay, so the question was about balancing informing and entertaining. Is that right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Actually, I think that's one of our biggest strengths, is that we would not like a show that is not entertaining. And actually, that's the whole reason that we began, right? Is because we felt like there.
Anonymous, thank you for your donation of 103.48. I'm sorry I missed it. I am a failure as a human being. And the reason why it didn't show up is because we changed something in the show and it's not here. I'm going to get right on that. I'm going to get that fixed. Thank you so much, Anonymous.
Thank you, Anonymous.
Yes, and I know who you are, Anonymous. Thank you.
There was something was missing in the in political engagement, and it was the fact that it's very hard to be engaged when the content is so dry and so wonky. And we just thought, we don't like to talk about things that way, so let's not. And so the the hardest times for us, I think, is when there are issues that are truly matters of tragedy. And it's
Right.
impossible. It's impossible to bring levity to an October 7th, right? So when there's truly tragic things that happen, those are our least favorite shows, obviously, because we don't like tragedy to begin with. Nobody does. But it becomes very, very hard to do our kind of show when we're having to talk about very serious things. However, that said, some of those episodes are probably our most meaningful. Like, for example, the show that we did after Charlie Kirk was assassinated.
Yes.
We bawled through that entire show.
Yeah.
And I think it helped people feel less alone in their own feels, because we never met him, but yet we felt his loss so deeply. And I know that's exactly how so many people in our audience felt too. So even though that was brutal, it was probably one of our most impactful shows. And then on the flip side, we just really like to have we never finish a show without having funny videos of dogs or cats or whatever doing silly things, because a lot of the stuff that we talk about is so heavy that we want people to know the information, but we also want them to feel happy leaving our show. And so that's been a very intentional way that we try to balance things out.
I think there's
a
a responsibility, like with going in and doing a show and informing. Obviously, you want to inform people and tell them what's going on. We do that. We cover a lot of topics every single day, and then you want to entertain people. But I don't know. Mock may disagree with me on this, but she was the oldest child. I was the youngest child in our respective families. But I think we both grew up being those kids that were like, I don't want anybody to be unhappy in my family. So if I'm going to walk into a room and I'm like a positive kid and I'm going to make people laugh, and I'm going to, in Mock's case, she was in show choir, I'm going to put on a skit. You know what I mean? Like like we're both those people that we want that. We want people to be happy and walk away being happy and having a positive experience being in our presence. That's one. But then two, I don't go into the show every day even thinking that I'm entertaining people. I just go into the show every day thinking these are my people that are here to listen to what's going on in the news, and my best friend and I talking about it. And they're all our great friends, because our community is such a unique community. And like I would say there's nothing else like it in the landscape. They pray together. They go do book clubs and all. I mean, they do all sorts of segmented things without us. Like we've created this, I don't even know it's just a big giant community of people.
That's it. It's community.
Right. And I think people are longing for that because of social media, because everybody is so disconnected now. It's not like it was in the 80s, but we do have a lot of people that are our age that are like, I love this because I met my best friend coming to your show every day. And now I'm going to go visit her in Maryland, and we're going to do this trip. And like, we hear about people doing that. And so
I love you, boo.
So it's more than just, making people happy. It's making people feel connected. And I'm most proud of the fact that we've built a community and not just
This is interesting. When I was doing the research on Chicks on the Right, and it was I was kind of building the dossier of it. So I use a little AI on the research, because it's just, I go out and I do surface level stuff, but there's so much to consume. So I also want to have it collected and kind of process it. And it's really important to fact check stuff. But when I did, it was really cool. So they were talking about community style shows that have built a following. And they mentioned Chad Prather. They mentioned PPD. They mentioned the Chicks on the Right. And then we got mentioned at the Dumb Show. And it was a very cool thing to be even in the same group of those three, because we have developed a show that's community based, and it's funded by y'all. I mean, they were like, they could not stop talking about the set. They're just like, this is the best set we've ever seen. Like this is incredible. And I'm like, this is from the viewers. And they weren't shocked, because they have the same magic. So there's a little bit of some vulnerability here that I share with them is based on how I had to learn to treat the audience. Because the first few years, I wasn't living up to the expectation that the audience had of me, because I was combating the audience versus embracing them. Now, it was a tumultuous time, and J6 and the stolen election and the lies that were taking place that are very similar to the anti-Jewish sentiment right now, and this broken woke right was happening then, but more people are now, they can see it. Like, there's enough of me and enough of the chicks on the right. There's enough of Damani. There's enough of these shows, Graham Allen, that challenge the narrative and are refusing to allow these people to continue to grift off of citizenry that is just innocent and looking for communal relationships. But it wasn't that way when I started, and I was one of the only ones, and Leeroy and I were the only ones who were really challenging the bullshit. And we were not allowing it to live in our atmosphere, and we refused it in our ether. So just something to think about. Go ahead, buddy.
No, you're good. Something else to think about is when you compare just the sheer number of podcasters that are out there, I would be willing to bet that it's not unlike that Ballotpedia poll that shows how many people have changed from left to right or right to left in terms of politicians. I would be willing to bet that it is probably a 4 or 5 to 1 ratio of right versus left-leaning podcasters out there. There's relatively few successful podcasters out there to begin with, but I would venture to say that the ones that lean left are even fewer still. And you have to imagine that it's because you can't really go on, I mean, unless your name is Candace Owens, you can't really sell this idea of victimhood daily, right, and still get anything fresh going. Yeah. At least when you come to a right-leaning network, if we're hashing over current trends in policy or current events, things that have happened in the news, this politician did that, or this politician got charged, like the one out in California who just found out she's a Chinese spy.
Yes.
Mayor. You're like, right, and the mayor. Whereas if you're a left-leaner, you can only hash those ideas of victimhood, of people owing you shit. You can only sell that message so many times and change the wording. So I think there's a real advantage here to being authentic, genuine, and they hit it right on the head. And I love their formula. Their show is amazing.
Yeah, the reason why I think there are only a few successful leftist podcasts is because there's two things. One is that it's pray, eat dog, right? In that world. It really is. Like there was no errors with it. Like they didn't treat us in any other way. There was no deference of looking down or thinking that we're some simple group and that they had this air of superiority, or that they had to take some sort of pity or charity on us. They treated us like equals. They treated us like respect. And you get that amongst conservatives. But with the left, it is a prey eat dog situation. And the next, and prey as in not as in prey, but prey as in to kill. The second thing is that the audience, when you know everything, there's no reason to engage and listen. And you have your marching orders, and it's very simplistic. It's very surface level thinking. And they are instructed to go out and sick their views on other people who think differently. Not to watch, not to learn, not to grow, but to literally destroy and attack any other message out there that's not theirs. This is why you don't see us trolling left shows, but you see a ton of leftists coming into this show and trying to break it down. They are unsuccessful. They've never been successful. They never will be successful. Here's the rest of this. It's a really good point, Leroy. Thanks, buddy. I always love breaking this down, and whether we're a part of it or it's another show, it helps. It helps the audience, but it helps us also learn from it. So thanks for watching it with us. Here's the rest.
Show, and that is that's something that is like a legacy, I think, for both of us.
I think it's very difficult, and a lot of people fail to learn this lesson. I know it costs me a lot of viewers, but I've always, in retail and executive management, leave people better than you found them. Number one, it sounds like what I'm hearing. And the second thing is there's a difference between being a tribe and tribalism. And I think the left focuses on tribalism, and you're either with us or you're against us. That
Right.
Orwellian Sith ultimatum style type of thinking. And then being a tribe is that everyone to my left and right is my brother and sister. And these are the people that, so I was combative in my first couple of years because I thought that's what people wanted. I thought they wanted that aggressive, always right type of person. And it took me some time to realize that these people are my family. And the reason why we're on is because of them. So I think it's a great lesson that you guys point out. Just shifting to Daisy, because I feel you need a little bit more attention and love, so I'm going to do that.
It's fine.
When you focus on being a mom, and you've figured out how to handle peers, and you've figured out how to handle people in your age group, male or female, and you've had them flock to you, you're also have to sustain growth, which is curtailing and drawing in that younger and youthful market. And it's a very tough nut to crack.
Yeah.
What do you think as a conservative that you would want to express to the young voter, female, male, and help them understand that you've kind of, with your experiential learning would pass on to them as a conservative woman who has a large voice in this community?
Well, what I always tell, like my daughter, she's 16. I always say to her, think critically, question everything. Everything is in short sound bites now. I hate that. I don't like it. It's just not enough. It's like, because like I said, when we first started, it was more long form, and we would do these thoughtful, these really thoughtful articles, and they would and researched, and people would read them, and it was like such a wonderful thing. And so I do more than that a little bit sometimes, but because everything is so short, soundbitey now, and I think that's what kids are looking. They're looking for tiny sound bites and who can go viral. And so people out there are trying to be, they're trying to one up other people. And they're trying, and they fight with people, and they're trying to start fights so they can get clicks. And so I always tell her, just look at what you're looking at, take, step back and really think critically, because just think about what the reasoning is behind that post, and then do your own research and determine yourself before you let somebody else tell you what to think. You need to come up with your own set of thoughts and your own ideology on what's being presented to you. And so I'm really big on that. So critical thinking, I think, is first and foremost, because I don't know, they don't teach that in school anymore. These kids don't, that you have to teach them as a parent. And so that's super important. But from a political perspective, I think we're actually, the pendulum swinging a little bit to the right.
It sure is.
I hope.
Christianity's on the rise. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mock, how about you?
I mean, all of that was great. I would just also add that the internet is not real. It's not real life. And I think it's so easy to believe. I mean, for me too, like I fall into the trap where if I start seeing that my algorithm on X is feeding me a lot of, really shitty stuff, then I'm like, oh my God, this is what everybody thinks. And it only takes, like election result in Indiana the other night to realize that's not true. And it's a relief. So it's just, I think, a good reminder for people young and old that it is not real life.
Such a great point. Libby?
Okay, so you've got a 16-year-old daughter. Our daughter's going to be 16 in 10 days.
Okay.
So
maybe.
If she lives that long.
Maybe. If you guys don't know, in the research, Mock recently, about 6 months ago, I believe, lost a son. And I want to make sure I'm correct, and I don't want to cause any offense if there's any, chicks viewers here, or if one of them are watching, but I believe cerebral palsy, it's pretty serious, and lost her son. And what made me want to interview them, besides the fact that I watched them, but if you guys remember, this was one of our targets this year, was to get the chicks on the right. And Olivia's like, I'm going to go get them, and I'm going to go do it. But when I was doing research, I saw Daisy come on, and it reminded me of Leeroy. And when, our cameras went down and we're sitting here scrambling, trying to figure out how we're going to go ahead and continue the show, that this is like a transmission going out in a car, and just fills in and starts going at it. And Daisy did that same thing. And it was just so inspiring to see people who truly care about each other. And to me, I think that's what is so endearing about them. But when Olivia brought up the kids, I was watching Mock, intently watching her. And you know those scars are there, but the fact that she's like, listen, I have another child I have to take care of. As a mother, you go on, and yeah, you'll never get through that. You'll never move on, but she has to live vicariously through her living child to remember her deceased child. And to me, I just, it was very touching when I'm watching her to see her expression, and it's still beaming with pride that her friend is talking about their child, and there's no animosity. There's no, upset feelings towards anyone for these conversations. She's just openly sharing. And to me, I just for being 6 months of a scar that is definitely not even remotely close to healed, it was just commendable to see her do that. So that was all. Long way of saying that was cool. Here's the rest. Jury's still up. China is negotiating. If we can get the Chinese flow of currency just a little higher, we're sending her off.
Yeah, no, our son is 12, almost
it.
13. So being parents in today's age, how did you deal with the social media and I want a phone and I want my account and I want this? How did you handle that with your own kids? And since this is your career, and she's grown up watching you on social media.
Right. Don't do what I do.
How did you separate your career on social media with boundaries and outlines?
That's
for
a
your
good
daughter?
question, Olivia Spear.
God, that's such a great question. It
Such
really
a good
is.
question. Jeez.
Yeah, because I mean, I think I do it maybe a little differently than Mary because she's got a boy. My daughter, I'm very protective of her, and girls especially. People are slipping into their DMs. I have scared her to the point where like she's like the girl that's head on a swivel. She's a tough kid, but her head's on a swivel all the time. I've made her kind of aware. Be sure you're aware of your surroundings at all times. So that's just outward. But on social media, I'm like, that, kid that's slipping into your DMs is a 40-year-old man. You just need to know that. It's some pervy weirdo. She's also locked down. Like, I didn't let her have a lot of socials until she was, I don't know, I think it was like 14, 15. And
Right.
people would get mad at me for doing that because they're like, you shouldn't let her have it at all until she's 18. I'm like, I think that's dumb because it's kind of like, I look at social media as like a gun. It's, you got to teach them how to use it responsibly before they get out into the real world. Because had I not given her the opportunity to use social media until she was 18, she would have gone off to college and then she would have been like, woo! And so I needed to watch and stalk. And I know Mock does this too, but like I have all of her passwords. I read all of her DMs if somebody's DMing her, which are her friends, and actually they're kind of funny because her friends are pretty funny.
We don't go into, Dad doesn't go into that world. I stay out of that thing.
I read stuff that her friends, I have all of her everything because we own that stuff. I pay for it. It's mine until you get out of this house. So I think that we've tried to teach her just responsible social mediaing. And one of the big things is it's forever. Don't put anything out there that you don't want a job, some workplace, some future workplace to see. This is your life. This is your family you're representing. But she's, for the most part, I have her locked down. She's private. So
real quick, I told my daughter when she was diving into social media, I said, we're going to treat this like a tattoo. You can't get it without permission. You're not going to be able to get it till you're 18 years old. And you're going to put it in a place that's not noticeable. Because the moment that you do, it's going to change your life forever. And I have to, my daughter's like, I want to get a tattoo and I want to put it on my wrist. And I'm like, not a chance. Not until you have a job. Not until you've been in the work sector for 20 years. You have a resume. And I have tattoos. So it correlates because the internet's the same thing. You guys live on it. You breathe on it. You're here. But like a gun, you have to have restraint. You have to teach them to respect it, that it's a tool. And so I agree with you. I think that lesson is important. Quick other touch on this, and then I want to move on to one other thing, is when people say there's no handbook for being a parent. You don't get a book that tells you all these things. It's really, really hard. And I'm like, it's amazing because every conservative that I meet has the exact same playbook. And they follow the same thing. My mom and dad told me the same exact things that you're saying, everything you're mentioning here. I've heard all these things. And when I look at the left, they don't have a playbook. And they don't have that morality.
Well, they don't even know
rules.
what gender their kids are. So how do they have a
Right. Well, you can't even figure out what bathroom to use. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Something to think about. Here's a video of Candace Owens and Mock. I want, this is Mock, go first, then Daisy. This is a huge topic for us. We were talking about this when you first came on in the green room, and you know, we kind of are a staple of calling and challenging out things that aren't about popularity or aren't about the size of someone's channel, but if they're contradictory to our values, you need to challenge it, because we have a responsibility. Even though we want to get along with everybody in our audience, sometimes we have to disappoint them and say things that they're not maybe going to want to hear or ready to hear. Here is this. This gets me much higher. Whenever I make a video about Candace, I lose some followers. But man, I love this, that you have the courage to do this. Let's watch this. Come back. We got a couple more questions, and I have to get you out of here in the next 7 minutes. So let's do this.
Okay.
All right.
She cannot take that Trump said Brigitte Macron was hotter than she is. That was the worst thing that you could say.
Absolute
right?
worst. Yeah.
So on her
great.
Instagram, ahead of her actual show, responding to Trump, she posted this: "I'll be back on air today because we need to process the fact that Trump is out here saying Brigitte is hotter than me. Grounds for 25th Amendment, in my humble opinion."
I mean, what is even happening in the world? All the other stuff that he said, no matter. But listen, Brigitte Macron, hotter than you. No, 25th Amendment, you guys, 25th Amendment. There's no way.
She also said this:
All of us, when we got to that Brigitte line, were like,
I cannot. What?
Okay, Mr. President.
Crazy.
I wasn't. I was like, well, I mean, you could make a case. I don't know. When it got to her show, she was so mad about it, you guys, that she accused, just can't even believe this is real. She accused Trump of being gay and having gay sex with Brigitte Macron, who of course she believes is a man. That's the only thing that she could come up with that would explain.
And the information that has come out since this video is interesting about her own husband. I mean,
right. Oh my God.
Point the mirror inwards a little bit.
Projection
So
much?
she's
accusing Trump of being gay.
Right. Because Brigitte is a man, according to Candace.
Okay.
And because Trump thinks Brigitte is...
Who killed his sister in order to take her identity. You missed that part.
Right.
Yeah, Candace is based. So based.
Hotter, it must mean, the only explanation is that he had sex with Brigitte Macron, who is actually Jean-Michel Trotneau and a man. This is for real.
This Brigitte Macron. Who did you write that sentence for? Not even Brigitte Macron and Emmanuel Macron.
Isn't that what every woman looked like in the 80s? I mean, sorry. I mean,
applauded that sentence. Okay. They said incroyable. It doesn't help. Sometimes propaganda, when it's too naked, actually just hurts the cause that it purports to support. What is your obsession with Brigitte? This Brigitte Macron in the swimsuit? You think that you can command people, men, straight men?
She's batshit crazy. She's batshit crazy.
I want to ask
off the deep end.
E. Jean Carroll may paint rocks and trees and be completely batshit, and the color of her batshit in her cave is a particular shade of crazy. But Candace Owens makes E. Jean Carroll look sane, and that is terrifying.
Exactly.
And we listened to this woman at one point in the conservative movement.
Isn't it crazy?
Demon.
Yeah,
totally.
absolutely.
And there are so many times. I mean, every single day, I'm fighting not to use the C word on our show.
Right.
Every day. It takes every ounce of will in my soul to not call her the C word. It's almost, and at some point, it's going to slip. I'm predicting it right now.
It's going to fall right out of her face.
It's going to tumble right out.
Just say, see you next Tuesday.
I've got an idea. Let's all do this together. Okay. We're going to just do it here on the show, but hold on.
Really?
Got one of those.
This will be such a release for me.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay.
So this is how it's going to work. No, Daisy, you need to let me run this, okay? Because this is important. If I miss the censor button, we're in deep shit, okay? So we're going to be like 1, 2. Now, this isn't lethal.
Are we
weapon.
going on 3?
No,
when are
listen.
we going?
Listen, Murtaugh. It's 1, 2, 3. say it. We don't go on 3. You go after 3. Okay.
Got it.
Okay. All right. So it's 1, 2, 3. Candace is a. No, not yet. That was a test.
Okay. All right.
Okay. All right. Here we go.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. Candace is a
cunt.
We got Hunt. You're fine. You're covered. You're clear. I'll get it in post.
So good.
I am going to clip that, and I'm going to become a hero.
That's so funny.
That felt really good.
Doesn't it?
Didn't it?
I do it every night. I do it every night. It feels empowering. Ladies, I keep my word. We got just a couple of minutes left. There's a couple things that we do here. We always give the final minute to our guests, and then we ask one question. So I guess that's what I'm going to do. Mock, you go first. Love to hear kind of just final thoughts, put a bow on it, plug the Chicks on the Right. You guys can find it at Chicks on Right and go to chicksonright.com. Go get signed up, go share, go follow. Please make sure you guys follow these ladies. You need to be listening to them. I do every morning, and I don't sit around listening to podcasts. I do this for a living, and for me to actually listen to it, that should be the stamp of approval. Mock, you have 1 minute. Go ahead, or whatever you want to.
What am I doing? Just like
she's like, I have no clue. Whatever you. This could be a confessional. I mean, we could go
just
cook.
Call Candace the C word again. Like
we could boil an egg. I mean, we could make minute rice.
I feel very under pressure to come up with something super pithy, and I don't have anything except to say that this was a real treat. And I know
really
I speak for Daisy too when I say how much we appreciate you having us on. This was really, really fun. You've got a really fantastic outfit here at the Don't Unfriend Me show. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We love you guys. Like you guys are, I'm instantly in love with you guys. The Don't Unfriend Me show is the best. And I got to tell you, like our team needs to step it up with this, like the way that
the graphics and all the things.
Are you kidding?
Yeah.
This is fantastic.
That's all him.
Oh, wow. You even did it right.
I
Look
did
at you.
do
I'm
it
pointing
right.
you. I got to do it this way. I 5.5 years. I still can't figure out that the cameras are transposed.
I love it. It's
Listen,
great.
the fact that you took a minute just to even give us accolades means the world to us. And this is kind of cathartic for us, but it's also a goosebump moment because we consider y'all to be royalty in this industry, you know? And I think I know. Tonto said the same thing when I called him a hero, but it's important. You guys have a great voice. We love you. We hope we can do this again. And we will tag you, unlike some people.
And we'd love to do it again. You guys have us on. We'd love it anytime. It's super fun. And, we love this kind of stuff. We just love talking about stuff other than like term limits sometimes,
Yeah.
It's
we're
nice
the same
to
way.
do that with fellow conservatives. It's really lovely. So thank you.
Yes, we will. Here's the final question. This is if we don't do this, they'll have a mutiny.
Exactly.
And I will be on time here. This is the question that will move mountains. This will transcend the depths of parting the Red Sea from Mount Sinai, the tablets coming down.
It will also
crickets.
depend on if you come back again.
Yeah, dogs.
Your answer.
Oh, absolutely. If you answer this wrong, it's really going to depend if we ever have you back. I mean, we like you, but we don't. We like you, but we might love you after the answer, depending. Here it is, the biggest question that we have ever asked on the show. Does pineapple belong on pizza? Yes or no? Starting with Daisy. Oh, Mock. That's okay, Mock. You're okay. It's fine. Go.
You know what? I'm going to say no.
Yes, my women. I love them. Yes, take it in your face. Yes. Yes. Yes.
It's just
wrong answer.
No. Put some pepperoni and sausage. Get a meat lovers and go on with your life, Like, come on.
Meat.
There's only one right
It's
answer.
not for fruit. Fruit does not belong on pizza.
No.
I've got some other guests on my side every once in a while, so
Put the fruit in your drink with an umbrella. Yeah.
Yeah, but they don't count.
That's where the fruit goes. But yeah, it's okay.
Hey, Liv, this is for you. The Don't Unfriend Me show knows what's up. They know. Pineapple doesn't belong anywhere. It's Japanese and Italian. I mean, come on.
It's weird.
Like
it's a little
Hawaiian apple. Yeah, we're done with pineapple.
I can't. Not everyone
Sorry,
can be on my side.
We love pineapple, just not on pizza. Just keep it off our pizza.
not on pizza. Right. It's like I love nuts, just not in cookies. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like,
there you go.
Don't give me crust issues. Stop it. Yeah.
Fair enough. You won me on pizza. Ladies, thank you so much for joining. Go get some rest. Have a wonderful afternoon. We'll do this again sometime. This will be on tonight at 7 o'clock. We'll share it out for you. And we sure do appreciate you. Thank you so very much.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Appreciate
much.
you. Thank you so much.
God bless.
Bye.
Bye. So, yeah, it's interesting.
They
stop
have
it,
this
dog.
thing. They have this thing that they do at the end of every show where they have an Indian correspondent who comes in and says, "You have been listening to the Cheeks on the Right. Bye-bye." It's so funny and it's so cute.
Yeah.
And I just absolutely adore that show.
Yeah, they laughed when because I cut it, but when I was like, "Bye," and they're like, because they know it's Dylan Mulvaney. What?
Yeah.
Calm down, dog. Jeez Louise. Yeah, I did scare Yenny right off the table, but you know, I was being melodramatic, but it's always fun to win. I mean, to have two people say, because we're like 50-50, pizza on pineapple on pizza. It's a bloodbath between Olivia and I. This gives me 2 in a row. So that's actually, it's like 6 shows in a row that people have said no on pineapple on pizza. Anyway, hands down, one of my favorite. I hope that we go on their show. I'd love to go on their show sometime and join them. You'd love Leeroy to go do that too, because I know you're a big fan. And this is just the beginning of us continuing to build relationships. The one thing I appreciate about our show is that when we bring somebody into our circle, they stay in our circle, you know, and they continue to keep coming back. And having redundancy with our guests allows us to encroach on new topics, learn about them, and experience things that we normally would only be able to do once. So it's always a good thing. Your thoughts on the interview, man?
It's all about orbital mechanics, right? We get a lot of cross-pollination. We did that, you know, with a lot of our prior guests, including Damani, including Barry, Chris Peranto. We have a lot of, you know, when people tend to, you know, encompass a set of values, then when other people, you know, talk about those values and talk about stories, but through that lens, right, of conservatism, then when you find someone new, it's like, oh, it's new, right? And it's a fresh perspective, but it's also, you're a little more open-minded to get there.
Yeah.
And I absolutely love that. I hope absolutely that we get to, you know, it's more than just 2 ships passing. You know what I mean?
I don't think it will be. They're you know, these people were very sincere, and they're complimentary to a point where they don't need to be. And we've already chatted back and forth on a couple of things, and they've already shared our stuff. So we think this is we're just going to keep it going, you know, because it's fun. That's all. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you had a good time. We still have some show left. Now we need to get somewhere close to our donation. Last night we missed it by like $35.
Hi, I'm
whoa,
Olivia Spear, host of the
Sorry.
Dumb Show.
Premature. Sorry. So we unfortunately we only missed it by like, I don't know, $14, but we were only on for like an hour and 10 minutes last night because of the game. And I really appreciate you guys letting me watch that. But we do need to hit it tonight because Ash is over here yelling at me and screaming at me. I don't know why, but she's going through a growl fest for some reason. But she's frustrated for some reason. I'm not sure. But first things first, let's get to Tucker Carlson. I just wanted to put a few pieces of Ashla, what is wrong with you? She's over here. Well, what? No, she's just being a butthead. Will you go find out what's wrong with Ash? She's over here. Okay, tell me. Get over here. Tell me what's going on. Tell me what's going on. They can't hear you. Get over here.
She has been a butt.
Okay, what does that mean?
All night. She's been going in, going out, going in, going out. I thought she wanted me to go out and play with her, so I went out and played with her. She started jumping and fighting me and biting me. She scratched my arm. And then, don't you dare make noise over there. I am tattling on you.
Oh my gosh.
And then she proceeded to run around like crazy. She was yelling at Mom. She refused to go on a walk.
She's in here.
Mom.
She's in here going. Oh.
She refused.
Because she's crying. She's crying over here. You guys have done something. What did you do to my dog?
She has been a butt, and she's
okay. Go check. Make sure she's okay. Wow. Make sure. Did she eat her dinner? She's probably hungry. I don't know. I'll tell her she's in here complaining. She's over here all the way across the room, literally moaning. I'm not kidding. It's loud. She's going, "Urgh." She sounds retarded. Like she sounds like Hayden pretty much every day. All right. So here's Tucker Carlson, a little collection. We've only got about 5 videos left, folks. Yes, Ash is a husky, and yeah, we know it's common with her. She's not in heat. Everything's fine, guys. She's just being a shithead. Here is this video on Tucker. We'll bring it back so Leroy and I can have some comments. By the way, folks, dumbshowdonate.com, the dumbshow.com/donate. We're at 103.48. We need to make some goals. So if you have a chance, please help the show. $5-10. That's all it takes. Just hit the goal. Here we go.
My view is you can kind of tell who's telling the truth. You can smell it.
You know, you've been talking on your show about whether Trump is the Antichrist.
I have not said that.
On your show, you said, could this be the Antichrist?
I actually did not say, could this be the Antichrist?
Could this be the Antichrist?
I don't know where that comes from, but I know that those words never left my lips.
Raised some eyebrows this week when you said that Hamas is more like a political organization than a terror group.
Hamas is a group of jihadis. They're Islamic extremists, which they also claim constantly, which I don't know if that's true, by the way. It seems more like a political organization.
I didn't say that.
The future that I imagine is not a future in which we're yelling at each other about race. It's a future in which people are legitimately revolutionary, maybe even violent.
You said in our previous interview, the future that I imagine is not a future in which we're yelling at each other about race. It's a future in which people are legitimately revolutionary, maybe even violent.
I'm amazed that you have a tape of me saying that, and I just want to disavow it. A lot of young men in America, mostly white, but not exclusively, listen to Nick Fuentes really carefully. This kid is the single most influential figure among young white men, and not just white, actually.
Is that true?
Oh, it's definitely true. Of course, half the thing was about Fuentes, and who cares? Fuentes?
There was a lot of Fuentes.
Who cares about Fuentes? Talk about irrelevant.
America's supporting Israel because it's an ally.
I don't even know what those words mean. I'm just saying my principle
they're an ally, right? I mean,
he is such a sanctimonious dick. You know what I mean? This is the type of guy you beat the shit up in high school. You just kick the living shit out of him. I mean, he's just a freaking nerd. He's just a giant dork. and I just don't, how can any man who considers himself to be alpha, he's so passive aggressive. No offense, but he's like a woman. He's just a passive aggressive dink. Go ahead, Leroy. Sorry.
Well, first of all, he's disingenuous, and you can get that in a lot of the tone, especially with that fake ass laugh of his. But beyond that, to get caught in so many lies where he has to kind of, I never said that. And he's got this crazy laugh, right?
Oh,
you have to imagine that at some point, somebody, if you never watched any of your own interviews, you don't remember saying this 9th thing that somebody's recalling for you, right? And he is a complete showman, is what it is. And he has an audience. Absolutely. He's done things I wish I could get on Fox someday.
Sure.
But the fact of the matter is he's not good at it. He's not good at remembering what he says, and he has to flip-flop on so many of his own positions that he can't keep track, which is, I think, why he's struggling.
Yeah, it's like his memory goes with every time he cashes a paycheck from the people who paid him to say it.
Right.
So it's like Dumbledore putting his thoughts into a pensieve, Yeah. They're just gone forever. He's just fake. And so's Megyn Kelly. And yes, we're going to hit on them tonight. Why? Because it's been a week and it's time to do it again. Here's the rest of them.
I don't know what that means to be an ally.
Qatar is one of our closest allies in the world. The largest American air base in the Middle East is in Qatar. They're a close ally of ours.
I come to Israel and the infrastructure, we were flying in, and I said to my buddy, I was like, man, first of all, it looks great. I love the agriculture in Israel because it's beautiful. I love green. I love plants.
I remember when it didn't look like that.
Yeah.
First time I came in 53 years ago.
It's great.
Israel, which is one of the single ugliest countries in the world. Nothing of beauty has been built there since 1948. Sorry, I've been everywhere in that country, and it's true.
Let me get to the nub of the question, since, again, a lot is at stake. A lot of money is at stake. Land is very valuable. Israel has a lot of resources. We have a huge country. This is a country the size of New Jersey with no resources.
An attack on Western civilization looks like this. It's tribalism. It's identity politics. It's DEI. It's whatever. It's
Zionism. It's any belief system that begins with the understanding that one group is morally superior to other groups.
Well, just on principle, like every other group in the world has the right.
JD, thank you so much for your donation. We're having a problem with our widget tonight. I'm very, very sorry. Thank you, JD. $20, $123.48. My apologies, guys. We're trying as best we can to get this thing to work, but it's definitely having some problems tonight. Judy Gurley donated $5. Thank you, Judy. That puts us at 128. Judy. Yep, still a far cry. We are far away, but we've got 30 some odd minutes. We're going to be okay. So let's see if we can hit it from here. We got 32:58 on the clock. Here's the rest.
To its own homeland except white people? Like what?
JD has been subject to, this is well known, but I'll just confirm it, nonstop treachery.
Accusing people of treachery, so I'm wondering, who do you mean specifically?
I don't know the answer to that. I've never worked there. So like if you don't work there, you can say, you can say what you think you know, but it's hard to really know.
If I always tell my kids, if you think someone's lying to you, you're right.
I mean, he explained it pretty well there.
I just, it's not jealousy. When you look at somebody and you say, why them and not me? Honestly, that's introspective, right? And I've said a million times on the show that that comparison is the destroyer of innovation. It's the destroyer of motivation. It's the destroyer of originality. Yeah, if you just constantly try to emulate and replicate other people or compare yourself to them, you're going to. There's always going to be somebody better. There's always going to be someone who exceeds your potential. You should base yourself off of the people who are working to get where you are by helping them, and looking left to right versus looking up, because you're going to have a better view at your level than constantly staring up at things. And so it's not that I would even remotely compare myself. I will never even remotely scratch Tucker Carlson's audience. I will never be as impactful as Tucker Carlson is. That is immaterial to me, because I tell you that there are things that I've done in my life that Tucker Carlson would never accomplish or achieve, and does not have the ability to do that I do or have done. But it's important to understand is that I don't care how high, how low, or how even somebody is to you. I've said it earlier on the Chicks on the Right show. If somebody contradicts your values and your morals, and it goes and is diametrically opposed to what you stand for, and you are in the same presence as that person, or the same arena, or even the same sport or ballpark, you have an obligation to stand up and say, this will not stand where my shadow is cast. This 5-foot circle around me is my space. I own it, and therefore I'm going to repudiate and reject anything that enters it that is contradictory to what I believe or what I stand for. I think every single human being, that's what honor, that's what integrity means. So that's why I call them out. Go ahead, Leeroy.
Well, it makes you wonder whether or not what you're seeing with their popularity. And when I say their popularity, I mean every other podcaster out there. When you're looking at the Candace Owens of the world, when you're looking at the Tucker Carlsons of the world, is their messaging easier to swallow? Because Tucker already confirmed it. Like, they are lying to you. And I think have you ever seen that meme where there's the uncomfortable truths and it's a very short line, and then the comfortable lies and it's a very, very long line? The population that seek out actual facts and actual, open-mindedness, I think that, the people that come onto our shows like Chicks on the Right, shows like ours, is going to be, just by virtue of personality traits across all Americans, it's going to be a smaller pool. And the people that want to buy into the conspiracy theories, the people that want to buy into hate or victim blaming, and make no mistake about it, I am saying that to a degree, both Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens lean left. Whether or not you think that they are full on leftists, I don't know. But just by virtue of them not accepting responsibility for everything themselves. Oh, I didn't say that. Or Candace has done that too. I mean, she's been caught in how many lies?
My God. Yeah, we're
Right?
going to see that. We're going to see that next.
So just by virtue of the fact that there is some pushback on the idea of responsibility there, yeah, I'm saying that it's a personality structure, both of them, that they do lean left a little bit.
Well,
And
yeah,
I
left
think
of
it's-
morality too. Left of
Right,
morality too.
And so it's just an easier message when they're lying, when they're trying to whip up a frenzy, and when they have an audience that they're trying to sell a product. It's easier to do that than for the people to seek out the truth and then come to places like ours.
Right. There's a graphic, but it's actually a development strategy in leadership courses. I've got this. I'm going to send it to you because you're a chief, so you do a ton of leadership reviews and set reps on your people. But it's essentially a blueprint that I created over at Apple, and it was created for one of the retail executives who was running retail at the time. His name is immaterial, but he asked me if I could take like the top 50 from the Maslow's hierarchy of needs to the change curve to the 9-box to SWOT, all of these type of processes in leadership and draw diagrams and put it on one big giant 16:9 poster. And this is a really cool thing. I'll send it to you. But in it, Infinitas talks in their trainership program. Infinitas is what it's called. INFINITAS. It talks about the comfort zone and the growth in the comfort zone. You just absolutely mentioned this without knowing it, but there is no growth in the comfort zone. And this chart kind of shows you where number one is, and the green is where people want to be. They want to be in the comfort zone, and there's no growth there. And it's reason why is because the outside pressures of actual real growth are getting into an uncomfortable state. And it really is truly being pinched between being overwhelmed and being comfortable, where if you want to grow and you want to expand, is you have to be uncomfortable in order to get to a higher comfort zone in your life. And it's very similar to there is no love with hate. There is no hot without cold. There is no dark without light. There is no growth without discomfort. There is no comfort without discomfort. And it's a wonderful example of leadership that you really framed really well. Frederick Baldwin says the 9-box. 9-box is a rating system. So if you were to put on one curve would be potential, and the one curve would be will, you would have a deficit in will and a high level in will, or you would have a low level in potential or a high level in potential. And based upon the quadrants of skill versus will in your rating, a person who would do very, very well would land at the 3-box and at the 3-box in potential and in overall skill. A person who would be detrimentally low would fall into the 1 quadrant on potential and also skill, which would make them ineffective because they may want to do the job, but they don't have the ability. Or they may have the ability, but they have no desire to do the job. So a 3 in the 9-box, and you can use 9-box for hundreds of different development programs, but that's essentially what it is. You're getting me in a place where I don't want to go because I've given up this life. But this is something that I did professionally and was really good at, was the development of new leaders and how to teach people how to be successful in the workspace. So it's something to think about. Here is, it's funny you mentioned Candace. You're doing so well tonight. You and I are starting to share the same brain, it seems. Here is Candace and some of her contradictions.
But it does feel like you are drip feeding us the information that you have about Charlie's death.
Now, it's interesting because this is when you castigate aspersions on somebody else and you're accusing, this is a trait of the left. When they accuse you of something, it's because they're doing it themselves. Right. Candace is literally the drip feeder of drip feeders. And I'll be completely transparent with you. This is almost to the point of chlamydia. She drips so much. This is
thank you for that imagery.
It's gross but accurate.
Trails around him, episode by episode. Are you unable to lay it out all at once for us? Yes, I am obviously drip feeding. There's another theory that I'm still looking into that has been presented that I think is definitely interesting. Probably we'll have more on that maybe tomorrow or the next day. Another piece of this puzzle that I find to be fascinating. I will have more for you guys next week. We'll have more for you tomorrow. We will have more for you tomorrow. Some other stuff that I've been holding close to my chest. So much more is going to be exposed, and we're going to get into that more tomorrow. Incredibly interesting, and we're going to get more into that.
Paul Rivera, $21.10. Thank you, Paul. Our flasher's down. Olivia's going to keep reminding me. Paul, thank you so much.
In tomorrow's episode, holiday thing, which I'll get into tomorrow, we're going to get into a Russian and Ukrainian angle here for some reason, some way, somehow. We'll see. See you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow, we're going to jump back into the timeline because I've got some amazing little factoids to add to it. So I will see you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow, we will have more explosive information and revelations. Again, we're working on a very, very big lead tomorrow that I believe that we should be able to present tomorrow.
This is so formulaic to same bat time, same bat channel. And this is called the hook in marketing. And there's two types of hooks. There's the initial introduction hook, and then there is the post hook. So the first thing is you get people entertained and continue to watch on the first introduction hook. And then on the end of it, you go ahead and give them a prelude or a precursor to what will be here tomorrow or what will be here next week. These are Dinesh D'Souza did this with the 2,000 Mules. Hey, this is the most important information ever. This will change society, but you can only see it if you pay me $29.99. This is her show on Erica, the wife or the wives or the 12 faces of Erica, whatever the fuck it was for her. This is her saying, this isn't important, but I'm going to make it be important, and then I'm going to charge you behind a paywall to watch it. You know what I mean?
Well, it's formulaic, right? And anybody who'd ever gotten bit by the Dr. House bug in the mid 2000s understands this. Every show was the exact same. Person comes in sick, House gives 3 diagnoses that are all wrong, and then saves the day by the end of the fourth diagnosis. Same thing. Every show is structured in such a way because it works, because it sells. And her audience, who has, I'm not going to make fun of her audience, right?
I am,
but
I am,
but there is definitely an easier sell there, given certain characteristics.
Yeah, and those characteristics are all consistent with.
Retard alert!
Yeah.
Retard alert, class!
Just saying. Here's the rest.
Tuned for tomorrow. Like I said, tomorrow I will show you. I was having recurring dreams about the fact that he was betrayed, and we will jump more into that narrative tomorrow. Something happened at Fort Huachuca, and tomorrow we're going to dive deeper. We're going to get into that tomorrow, because tomorrow we're obviously going to get into her pageant days, and I will tell you more about that tomorrow. He actually said more than that, actually, but we're fishing.
That's called a double negative, by the way. The English language is imperative for me to evaluate another person's intelligence level. This is why when someone uses serendipitous or serendipity or serendiptatiousness, which is not even a word, but is the act of serendipity, it means the world to me, and I appreciate people with a good vernacular, a strong vernacular. Yeah. She doesn't have one. She is.
It's always been fortuitous.
Fortuitous is another great word. Fortuitous is. I remember my literary professor in Eastern Wyoming College. I used the word in. He was, giving me a couple of books to read. I think something about Tennyson or whatever, and I said, "Oh, well, I have that. That's fortuitous. I have that book actually from my mom, who left it for me when she visited." And he's like, "What did you just say?" I said, "Fortuitous." And he goes, "Use it in a sentence." And I said, "Well, it would be a fortuitous event if we both benefited from this conversation that we're about to have." And he goes, "It's not a word." I'm like, "Bro, yes, it is a word. No, it's not." And then 2 other students were laughing, and then I walked out. I'm like, "This college, I'm screwed. I need to transfer." It is Wyoming. It is
boiled down, distilled. It just means lucky. Who's your professor? What a goober.
Well, they were from Wyoming, mind you. So this guy probably worked at the DMV as a driving instructor for most of his time. Let's be honest with you. Here's the
Right.
list.
So let's be patient. I've actually been sitting on this for a little bit over a week. Been intentionally setting dates.
Listen, folks, there's another 4 minutes in this video. I'm not going to show you the whole thing. She says every single day, it's the same shit. And this is the type of stuff she comes back with. Yesterday, she told us, come back tomorrow for something on Erica. Well, here it is. Erica Kirk, this woman is just a jealous okay? That's it. Chicks on the Right said it best. She is a jealous, spiteful little okay?
Yep.
Here is what she did to Erica Kirk, who went to a school, gave a beautiful address, and this is what she did with it. This is Hillsdale College, by the way.
And Erica can do whatever she wants, and we're just sort of left here holding the bag. She went to Michigan and to Hillsdale College to deliver a commencement address. Okay, it's her prerogative. I think we're all adjusted to this new program of Erica can do whatever she wants. And simultaneously, she accepted a posthumous doctorate degree for Charlie, honorary doctorate, and also an honorary doctorate for herself. And I want to be clear that people that are on the left and have been enduring people on the right saying DEI, people should not be hired on the basis of how they look. They should not receive achievements. It's a regular beat, and I do believe that, by the way. I'm anti-DEI as well. But they're on the internet.
As the biggest DEI hire ever of the Conservative Party. The only reason she's sitting in that chair is because she has melanin in her skin of an excessive level.
Yeah.
That's it. There's nothing unique about her that we don't find dripping down her leg. She's black, and that's only reason she was ever popular. Go ahead.
Again, this is, I made this comment before, but it's a little bit of the chicks on the right? Like when Candace first came out, you were like, oh my God, here is a young, attractive black woman with a seemingly conservative tone. We now know that to not be completely true. It is in fact somewhat fabricated, but the fact is that it was of a unique perspective at the time, and people were willing to say, I'm going to give this a chance because it's different. It looks different. It sounds different from anything I'd ever seen. Chicks on the Right had mentioned this, rather than being a bunch of old stuffy white men, right? So this was a fresh take on things. That's why she is where she is, because she looks different.
Yep. Correct. Folks, 150 halfway to goal. Would love to hit 300. We were about $40 short last night. Looking out for a hero to come in and help the show out. Once again, $5, $10 gets us there. 383 people, 384 currently watching, 291 on X. I don't know what Facebook throttled us tonight, but they sure did. But would love some help if you wouldn't mind. And listen, once again, we're not begging for your money. We're not making this mandatory. You watch the show, it's 100% free. You have to look at it this way. We're on 2 hours, 5 nights a week. That's 10, that's times 4. That's 40 hours a month. What else do you do in your life while you work? And how much do you make for 40 hours, right? Yeah. Put that in correlation that we're doing the same thing. So is it worth $10? Is it worth $50? Is it worth $100 to say, I'll give Netflix my money to watch one show for 2 hours a month and give them $21? Or is it possible that maybe you spend more time with the Don't Unfriend Me show? And if you do, we would love your help. If not, just give us a like, a share, a follow, or go over to the Don't Unfriend Me show where you can get some amazing shirts, some hats. We have the 250 year celebration shirt, which has been selling like hotcakes. Go take a look. Here is the final portion of this where she just completely degrades Erica, and it's ridiculous.
And they have something to say about it. The internet is saying this stands against everything that you guys preached. Why is she getting an honorary doctorate? What has she accomplished? And I'm just going to read one of these tweets. This is written by someone named Brian Allen. I don't know who this is, but they wrote, Hillsdale College, one of America's loudest opponents of DEI, just gave a woman an honorary doctorate and commencement speech opportunity because of who her husband is.
That's what honorary doctorates do. You guys understand that? Yeah, you guys get this, right? Charlie Kirk didn't go to Liberty, but he has an honorary degree from Liberty. She is the CEO of TPUSA, one of the largest influencing, self-founded, self-funded through charitable contributions And she is carrying on the legacy of her husband. That's like saying Tanya Kyle is, or the Travis Mannion Foundation isn't real because their husbands died and their wives didn't. I mean, how stupid do you have to be? I mean, you're completely just a tard.
That is the definition of DEI. Diversity, equity, and inclusion for me. And
I know Leeroy looks great, Mike. We got him his new camera and his setup. He's looking gorgeous, isn't he? Yeah. Wait till I get him his lighting. We're working on that now. So we just got to send it to him. He's looks great.
not for thee. So conservatives, I hate to call balls and strikes here, but like, yeah, that's
No,
right.
you don't.
That is actually the very definition of DEI. Like I when people have someone come and give a commencement address, that's usually not the circumstances that you give someone an honorary doctorate for. Fair. I don't mind it. I get it. Like I said, I'm adjusted to this new program that she can do whatever she wants, and they're just going to keep handing her stuff, and she's just going to become more.
Oh my God, you're such a jealous.
Yes.
Whore.
Yes. Well, like, I don't understand what the fixation is with Erica. You have no other headlines that you can touch on except the hatred and bile that comes from your sewer hole about Erica Kirk. And that is so how do you still have a show after just running the same shit like that every day?
Yeah,
it makes no sense to me.
How do you have a soul? You're using your platform for some Sweet Valley teen high bullshit. Charlie rejected you. He called you a demon, you Jezebel. You know what? The chicks on the right want to call you the C word. I'm ready to take it to the N word level. You know, I really am. I'm not kidding. I'm close. And you know, yes, a never-ending story is what I was going to say. Oh, what a snatch. Sorry. Complete giant snatch. There. Angela Hills donated $25 trying to get you closer to goal. Angela, that's all we ask, and we appreciate you doing that.
So much, Angela. Thank you.
I can't. So, okay, I've got some perspective on this. You guys, Ellen Page. Don't dead name her, Matt. No. I'm not calling her Elliot. She's not Elliot.
Lopped off her tits.
Yeah, who lopped off her titties, and so she ruined the Umbrella Academy for me. I was a huge fan of the Umbrella Academy comic book, and I was even more a fan of the first season. It's probably hands down, in my opinion, the best first season of any TV show. Umbrella Academy was that good. It was impeccable. And then Ellen Page decided that she didn't want to be with a man anymore in the show, that she wanted to be a lesbian. So she forced the writers in season 2 to completely out of character to have a lesbian relationship in the middle of the show. Then for season 3, she's like, now me being a rug muncher isn't good enough. Now I've got to be a tranny. And she did that too. And she ruined the show. That's woke DEI. And you know what? I was upset at that. And I just stopped watching the show. I didn't even pick up season 3. Now there is a new rumor that she is going to be in the new Troy remake, which I really enjoyed the first Troy with Brad Pitt. I thought it was excellent. $174.58. Thank you so much. Donation just came through. No, totally $174.58, buddy. Yeah. So thank you so much, folks. I'm sorry it's broken. Our goals are not working. I don't know why. I don't know what to tell you, but I don't even know who did it. Livia, you're gonna have to tell me who did it. No idea. Thank you for the donation. Troy is being remade, and Ellen Page has been booked
as Achilles.
Well, here's the problem. I don't think Ellen Page is going to be Achilles. Because there's 2 prominent figures in the book. There's Hector and Achilles, and in the movie. And if you haven't read, just read it. The point is that Paris is the young prince of Hector, and he is a very flamboyant, flippant coward. And Orlando Bloom played him. Angela Hills, thank you so much. We love you. That's right. I did call you out on that.
Thank you, Angela.
Orlando Bloom played Paris, and he was a sniveling little bitch. He also puts the sling of arrows in Achilles' heel in the stories and in the mythology. So I could imagine Ellen Page playing Paris, because they haven't said she's going to do Achilles or Hector. And I actually, this is crazy. I think it is a perfect choice for Paris, who is a sniveling little douche twat, who's weaker than Hector, smaller than Hector, has a god complex through his genealogy and his ties to nobility, but has no spine to lead people in battle. Here's the video, then I'll get Leroy's thoughts when he comes back.
Look, I don't give a damn if you are Christopher Nolan or Christopher Columbus. This right here is a no. We're not doing that again. We voted that out of office. Okay? This nonsense here, Chris.
Frustration.
Look, I have loved just about your entire body of work. The Prestige.
Yep. Prestige is
Inception.
great. Yep. Great.
Batman.
Yep.
Exceptional work.
Interstellar.
This right here, The Odyssey, whatever this is, no. 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 Nay.
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 Frank
Oh,
Wood
hell
donated
no.
50. Thank you for my son. God bless you, brother.
Thank
Not
you,
gonna
Frank.
do it, bud. I don't know how many renditions you need. This is a no.
I'm not defending Ellen Page to get work. I think she is a despicable attention getter who is a cancer who destroys everything. What I'm trying to say is that if she's playing Paris, there's no person I could imagine better than her because of who she is, not because of her acting skills. But if she's Achilles, you are literally taking a giant shit on some of the best Greek mythology ever. And I for a Clash of the Titans fan, from an Olympus fan, from an Achilles fan, from an Apollo fan, from a Hades fan, an Aphrodite, to Icarus, Euripides, and Euripides, and we can go on and on and on. You're literally taking a shit on some of the greatest literature known to man if you put her as Achilles. What are your thoughts?
So I have a very similar take. Okay. And full disclosure, I have a friend of mine at work, regular work, that is an actor. And just last year, he was in a series that's going to be out on Apple TV this coming year, and he's opposite Liev Schreiber. He's just getting ready to read for a role on Severance. And so we talk about acting all the time, and we talked about directors' visions and producers and other actors. And so I get this idea that basically when you're putting a movie together, how the sausage is actually made is from the director's perspective. It's using actors as these brushstrokes on a canvas, right? And I actually agree with Matt. I think that Ellen, whatever the hell her name is, his name, God, I'm so bad at this.
So confusing.
Would be a perfect kind of sniveling type of character. It's already in the face. It's already, people get typecast for exactly that reason. I could not see Paige as a warrior, as a hero of any kind, and maybe she can act her way out of that. I don't know. Maybe, but right off the bat, I would say it's not a good fit. Just my take.
No.
Yeah, it's not
not for Achilles. Not for Achilles. But once again, for Paris, yes. Like perfect. Yeah. Orlando, like Olivia had a massive crush on Orlando Bloom when Pirates of the Caribbean and all the pirates came out. Every time we'd watch a movie, and that's okay because I was the same way with Keira Knightley. I had to have a moist towelette every time I watched Dead Man's or the Curse of the Black Pearl. But Troy came out and we watched it. We sat in our own home theater. We've got a home theater. We sat down and we watched it, and she was physically repulsed. She's like, I will never look at Orlando Bloom like that again. He is just a horror. And I'm like, it was just a movie. She's like, I can't. Every time I see him cowering and crawling like a little bitch to Hector, begging him as he just was disemboweled. And I'm like, yeah, that kind of sticks with you. Ellen Page is a perfect person for that. And she has the scars to go along with it for the stab wounds, so she should be fine. Go ahead, Leroy.
Oddly enough, my buddy who talks about playing villains all the time, he has always said that like his ideal goal in life is to play a villain so well that when people come up to him on the street, they have that look of disgust in their eyes.
Yeah.
He would actually look at that and say, thank you. That's how well I pull that role off. You know what I mean? So I get it. I understand what Olivia is saying, and maybe that's the same. Like, would Orlando react the same way? Like, yes, I to that person, I am that person now. I am that character that I portrayed. That's how well I did it.
Yeah, it's like Umbridge from Harry Potter. Like, you can't. Great lady, great actress, but you just hate her. Folks, we're at 224.58. Last night we missed it by 40. Right now we're missing it about 80. That's $120. We'd love to catch up. We've got 3 minutes. So if there's anybody out there who is interested in helping the Don't Unfriend Me show hit our goal tonight, it would mean a great deal. Thank you so very, very much. You go to thedumbshow.com/donate, donate to the show. And it doesn't matter whether it's $5, $10, $100. We've got 391 on right now in general pop, and we have another 35 over on, 35 over on Rumble, 300 on Twitter, 35 on YouTube, and 53 on Facebook. We're missing like 60 people on Facebook, which is crazy. And then 35 on Rumble. Go ahead, Leroy.
If you can put an extra, 3-4 minutes on the clock, there's some stuff that I wanted to cover about the midterms
Absolutely.
that maybe might help.
Yeah, no, I once again, there's no hockey tonight, so it would be perfect. I just need to show this next video, and then we'll do it. The Merrill race in Los Angeles. Let me do this. I'm going to go to Alex Jones and Dan Blazarian, and then we'll have Leroy talk to us a little bit about the midterms. I exposed Dan. I'm glad Frank Wood's on tonight. I exposed Dan Blazarian. First of all, there's some sort of rumors that people think that I want to fight Dan Blazarian, and most assuredly I do. I would be happy to get in the ring with him, and it would be a charitable match. I'm much older than him, but I also have 5 inches on him. I have about probably 10 inches in reach, and I guarantee that if I kick him, I'll break him in half. So I'm more than open to fight Dan Blazarian anytime. And anyone who thinks that I wouldn't, you don't know me very well. I'm not a tough guy, but I know I can kick the living dog shit out of Dan Blazarian. Why? Because he is a pussy. Anybody that has to say that they were a SEAL and went through buds and dishonor and be a MEAL Team 6 U.S. Gravy SEAL, I have no respect for. Anyone who has to take steroids because they can't hit the weights and actually get a physique that's halfway decent without steroids, I know I can take that guy. And anybody that beats the shit out of his wife and kids is also somebody I know I can take. So please, Dan Blazarian, take me up on it. I would love to break your fucking nose in front of everybody. There we go. Here's Dan Blazarian.
All right.
If you were the president, what would you do?
I would declare war on Israel. I would cut off, at a minimum, I would cut off all foreign aid. I would let Iran have free will to do what they want with Israel. I would kind of let the problem probably take care of itself, to be honest, because if we stop defending Israel, I think they would get what they deserve. They have been persecuting these Palestinians. They've been operating apartheid. They've attacked all their neighbors. They bombed 7 countries in a year. They continue to just have unprovoked aggression. They are a total terrorist nation. I just don't understand how they're not qualified as a terrorist nation. They have nukes. They acquired them illegally. They refused to sign the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty, and they said that they would just kill everybody if they feel threatened. So, please tell me, Alex, how does that not make them the greatest terrorist threat to the world today?
I am so happy that Alex Jones lost his branding and has to resort to what looks to be an AI logo that he stole from The Daily Show and just turned it red instead of blue. Your graphics designer is a douche plow. This is the Daily Show logo, Alex. And he just changed the colors. So it warms my heart to know that you lost your entire brand because you decided to profit off of dead children. And the fact that you're platforming Blizzarian, it's just icing on the cake. Leroy, any thoughts on Dan Blizzarian and Alex Jones? Oh, and Alex, I'll throw you in the ring too. You drunken fat fuck.
I honestly don't know who Dan Blizzarian is, and he has an awesome mullet. I'll say that. But
he's running for senator in Florida against Randy Fine because he's a Jew, and this is a guy who says we should kill Jews, and he's just a jerk.
I don't know who he is, and therefore I don't care about him or his messaging.
Great. So perfect. As long as I just got that message out. Sorry, I don't like Alex Jones. I don't like people who platform anti-Semites and Nazis. Because, folks, when the left says you're a Nazi, you're a Nazi, you're a Nazi, they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. That is a Nazi. Okay? That's a person who idolizes Hitler. It's a person who just completely regurgitates blood libel, who believes that the Jews should be annihilated and killed. And he's also a Muslim, by the way. This guy is such a freaking liar. He's an Arab. He's in the closet. There's no doubt he's a part of that group. I would just recommend that you watch. And there's people who watch him and go, wow, I really like what he has to say. You need to slow down and listen to everything he has to say, and you'll pretty much get to the same conclusion. It's my job to show it to you. Leroy, you wanted 5 minutes. My friend, 5 minutes is on the clock. Folks, we're waiting for our last bit of donations. We are about $75 short. We need some help. Thank you so much.
So real quick, I wanted to touch base on the midterms, and the way I see this, I've been putting a little thought into this today. The way I see this, it's going to come down to basically three big main issues, right? And we're talking about the census redistribution. Every year for the last several years, between 1 and 3 million people have moved out of blue cities and states and migrated their way into red cities and states. And what we're doing effectively is playing catch up so that when the census takes a hold, like the Electoral College will balance all of that out. In the meantime, that's why this term gerrymandering has gotten so hot. I think that's also going to be a very big, you're going to see a lot of talk about gerrymandering in the news. And then the third factor is going to be one of Iran. And whatever happens within the next, 30, 40 days kind of thing is going to play a big part of it. Now, for the redistricting battle, right, for anybody who isn't really kind of keeping up on this, Virginia blocked it. The Virginia Supreme Court was able to block that motion from going through. So they have to deal with the last election's maps. Now, whether or not that decision is going to hold, I think it is, until the actual midterms. But in the meantime, But in the meantime, there are several other states that are affected by this, and the states that are looking to pick up seats, they include Ohio, which is going to pick up 2 probably, Tennessee likely 1, North Carolina 1, Florida is going to pick up 4, Texas 5. And so all in all, Missouri is another one. So totaling you're about 14 seats that we have incoming just due to the redistricting battle. The Dems are looking to get 1 out of Utah, probably 5 in California, but that's it. That's 6 in total. And so the Republicans are sitting in a really, really good spot for this. And it's important to keep your eye on certain states. Florida being one of them.
Can we pause right there? I have a video to support this as well.
Matt?
Hold on one second. And we also had a caller call in too. So let's stop. He's going to give us the states. We're going to come back to that, listen to that, and then watch the video that supports this. But we have somebody on the phone. Who is it?
Hey, it's Frank.
Hey, Frankie. What's up, buddy?
Hi, Frank.
I heard my name mentioned. Hi, Leroy.
How you doing?
Well, I'm trying to get through all the crap that I've had to go through lately. But I heard my name mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
And I hope you didn't think I was supporting Belzerian.
No. You had brought attention to him, so I was giving you credit for bringing his name up, and I think you completely repudiated his presence is when I showed you who he was. No, I'm going to continue to beat that drum because Randy Fine's going to hand him his ass and a Jew is going to beat him. And I think it's awesome. So the more that this guy can be shamed out of existence, the better it is for me. So no, this is my own personal struggle with him. That's all.
No, I've been following this guy and he's an absolute asshole. And thank you for bringing attention to that to me.
You got it.
I didn't realize it at first. You know, I heard the things that he was saying earlier, and I thought, oh yeah, you know.
Thank you, Melanie.
And then when you brought that attention to me, I was like, oh fuck, man, this guy's an absolute dick.
Yeah,
so
he is.
Sorry for all the expletives.
No, don't. Please, we don't care about that. I just wanted you to know thank you for the donation. It was good to see you, and I wanted you to continue to see this guy because, like, these guys are on my radar. And you know, I'm not with the left. You know, when someone goes, "Oh, you're a Nazi," this guy's a Nazi. I mean, he is just like this guy should. You don't want to remove somebody for their opinion. But this is one of the rare exceptions where freedom of speech, that is hate speech. Like the definition of hate speech today, I don't believe in hate speech. I don't believe there is such thing. But when you're wishing for the death of people, well, that most assuredly is unacceptable. And we can call that it's a veiled threat. You can say that it is a form of intimidation. You can say a lot of things, but it is a form of assault. When you're singling out a human being based upon their genealogy or their religious beliefs or even the color of their skin, as a society, we've dictated that these things are unacceptable. And isn't it funny that a racist can't understand that? They want white power, they want white purity, but if white people were being threatened, they would want someone to do something about it. If someone said all Christians need to be thrown into a frickin' lake and drowned to death, well, I'm sure they would be like, wait a second, you're going to let people talk to me like that? Dude, what? Well, now you can understand how Jews feel when some sanctimonious dickhead like Dan Blazarian jumps up there and does the same thing. So thanks, Bubba.
Absolutely agree with you 100%. He is, you know, when you talk about hate speech, speech is one thing. I think we should all be allowed to say what we want to say.
Yep.
But under certain terms, those things have to be looked at. And if you're going to say things that are, I don't know what I'm trying to express here, but I think you understand what I'm trying to say.
You can say whatever you want, but the moment that your rights infringe upon somebody else's rights, that's when free speech stops. Frankie, I got to go. I got to give it to Leeroy, buddy. I love you, but I got to get back to his topic. But I didn't want to turn away your phone call because I want to make sure you're doing well.
Thank you, Frank.
Love you too.
Love you,
Thanks,
buddy.
Leeroy. Appreciate you being there.
You got it, Frankie.
Yeah,
See
no
ya.
worries, man.
Had to take the call. Sorry. Like, go ahead. You were talking about the states that were involved in this, and then I'll play that video.
Well, and so it's important for everyone to keep their eye on specific states, right? And certain states kind of act as bellwethers for others. And what's interesting is that since 1952, however Florida goes, generally speaking, so does Pennsylvania and Michigan. They tend to follow. Now, in November of 2024, Florida was showing Republicans up by 8%, which was like a little over 1 million people. But by May of 2026, that spread had increased to 11.2% voter advantage. So when we're talking about the differences between, you know, Florida maybe having some level of influence on Pennsylvania and Michigan, use that as kind of a barometer to figure out, all right, is it possible that that's how these other states might go? And it is possible. Another state to look out for is Iowa. It tends to be the bellwether for Wisconsin. And same numbers. In November 2024, Iowa showed a Republican advantage of 10.3%. But by May of 2026, it was an 11.1% advantage. And in terms of Pennsylvania, you know, no Republican presidential candidate has ever won the national election without winning Pennsylvania. And so if you're kind of looking at what the trend there is, in November 2024, Democrats were up by a 3.1% voter advantage. But by May of 2026, that was down to a 2.1%. And, taking that as kind of the pulse check, specifically in Erie County and in Northampton County, those are going to be the counties to watch. That's where you have the highest concentration of blue voters. And then finally, North Carolina. North Carolina in November of 2024 had a Democrat voter advantage of a 1.3%, but by May of 2026, that had dropped to a 0.1%. It was 10,762 voters. So the Democrats' kind of momentum is slowing down in the states that they need it the most right now. And there's some similar numbers between Arizona and Nevada. But I just wanted to touch base on that. Look for those nuances within the midterms and within polling, because I think you're going to see that. I don't know that we're going to win the midterms, but if you're looking at this data, right, and we're looking at the other topics that I had already covered, which was, not only the census and gerrymandering, but however this thing with Iran goes, if that can be buttoned up before the midterms, I think there's a decent chance that it won't be quite as bad as everyone thinks.
So, folks, we are in desperation mode. I just want to be transparent with people. The $300 a night, to help people understand, covers our streaming costs. It covers the time we put in. I want you to imagine if you made $150 a day. I want you to think about that. And could you raise a family on that? Could you run a show like that? So we ask for a bare minimum of what we feel the show's worth. And we don't ever want to put it behind a paywall. We don't ever want to do that, but we can't do 2 nights in a row. It kills us. So, what we're hoping is we understand that it's hard for people to give a large sum. We don't want that. We're never asking for that, but $1, $10, $5, we can do that. So we're hoping we can make that happen, but we can't keep staying on late and going back to this. So just not a great night for a day that we felt was a really good day for the Dumb Show. I mean, Chicks on the Right here was a huge show. Felt we give you a good after show as well. And so we want to try to be able to do that. But 2 nights in a row is really concerning for us. And we know we were short last night, but we're here full time tonight. We're hoping that we can make this. So this is our last video. And, if you haven't had a chance to help the show, please do thedumbshow.com/donate. We would really appreciate you doing that. I hate talking about this shit. I wish I never had to talk about it. It would make my job so much easier just to come on and have thousands, but Facebook decided to throttle us tonight. So, 55 people, I haven't seen that number for 3 or 4 years. So it is what it is. Here is the video that's going to kind of support what Leeroy was talking about and what the midterms could look like.
2020 and deprived red states of 6 to 10 seats because of a miscount that disproportionately hurt red states. They admitted that they got that wrong, and then we're stuck with the wrong count for an entire decade of math. That seems crazy to me. So I think some of this could actually get worse for Democrats in terms of the math. After 2030, if the Bureau does its job this time correctly and counts correctly, people are leaving. To our previous conversation, they're leaving these blue states and moving to red states, so the places fighting back are going to be losing representation because of their own failed governance.
So, I mean, if you look at this map, it's pretty concerning, where you're seeing these changes for liberals, and you're seeing the loss of some seats in these heavy areas, and we know +4 in California was a big hit. You see the one up in Oregon there. You talked about Iowa, Michigan, Wisconsin, Minnesota. Those areas kind of all are in a group together. And then, of course, you have the Northeast. But if you take a look at the Carolinas, if you take a look at Florida, you take a look at Alabama, you take a look at where Georgia could possibly be, Oklahoma, Nebraska, the net positive on Texas. This is a really good sign for Republicans. And I want you guys to understand is that losing one house pretty much happens to every single incumbent president. And only in 4 times in the last 175 years has the incumbent kept both houses, or has not lost at least one of the houses. And to keep both, it's happened 2 times. It's a rarity. And the reason why is America usually does not reward because their expectations and promises aren't kept. Well, President Trump has kept his promises. And yes, I understand people think he said no new wars. That's not accurate. He said peace through strength. We understand that gas prices were at an all-time low. We understand inflation had dropped. There are things happening right now where Iran came up and it needed to be taken care of. If you think that Donald Trump wanted to do that, I think you would be mistaken. Leeroy, go ahead. I know Olivia had something to say real quick because she's over here and dealing it with the behind the scenes, and I think she had something to say. Go ahead, Liv.
Oh, hi, everyone. Hello.
Hi,
How is
Liv.
everyone tonight? Sorry. I wasn't
Great.
expecting to come on. I've been writing a bunch of emails tonight because we got Scott Levato on the show on Wednesday.
That is such a good thing.
Super excited. It was an awesome interview with Chicks on the Right today. Loved it. Also one more thing. That Victor Marks, the guy who is running for Colorado governor.
Yeah.
And I reached out a couple of months and never heard anything. Somebody from his campaign got back to me on Friday. So I'm writing emails then. So hopefully we'll get him on. And then Jeremy Mitchell got us in touch with a couple people. And then Barry introduced us to a couple people. So I'm super, super busy on the backside and trying to get us completely booked. But we're getting there. So lots of fun guests and good people coming on. So very exciting. So we would love your help with donations if possible. It helps. We were short last night and we rely on your guys' help for the donations since Facebook sucks. Really.
It would be nice.
They suck. I mean, we would love to not ever to have to collect another donation or to ask you for donations. But unfortunately, without your donations, the show doesn't survive unless we put it behind a paywall. And we really, really, really don't want to do that. So
But the more nights we have like this, we're having to start discussing it. And it's concerning to us. And that's why our urgency is so strong. You look at other shows. These shows are asking for thousands of dollars a night. We're not looking for that. And I know it seems like a lot, but when you look at the overall cost of the show, we can't do the show for this because we're losing money. So we're trying to, we don't know how to ask in any other way than to know that we'll have to make some changes if it continues. It's been a very difficult few months for us, and we're trying to make it happen, but we can't continue to bring great guests on and grow and not at least hit goal. We can't miss it. Just because we're asking for the bare minimum to survive and continue to have this show thrive. So if it can't, then we're in a rock and a hard place. We want to do great things, and the only way we can is if we hit the basic minimum that we're asking for.
Until we get that wealthy investor who wants to invest in the show and sponsor us, unfortunately, we are relying on the generosity of viewers like you. So we appreciate any and all donations.
Yep. Thanks. Appreciate it. Leroy, go ahead.
Oh, you had touched on North Carolina real quick, and I just wanted to point out a kind of an important thing because this never happened before. In November 2024, Democrat advantage was at 1.3% there. Roughly translated, that's 105,675 voters. By May of 2026, that has now reversed, and you're looking at a Republican advantage in North Carolina of a 0.1%. That's 10,762 voters. Now, that's
thank you, Diane Ramirez, for donating $2.50. You got to watch these.
Thank you, Diane.
Thank you, Diane. Go.
That's important to note because that's the first time in history that the Republicans hold a voter advantage in the state of North Carolina. That's big.
So in North Carolina?
North Carolina.
Wow. Redistricting absolutely kills those type of things. Hey, Leroy, if you got to go, I got to stay on. I got to stay on, unfortunately, for as long as I need to. So if you got to bolt, great. I've got a couple more videos that I can put in. So you just let me know. I appreciate your perspective tonight and all your help tonight, brother, for sure.
No, you have at it, folks. It was a pleasure to be here. Thank you so much to the Chicks on the Right. Just a wonderful couple of ladies, and thank you again for the fresh equipment from Matt and the Don't Unfriend Me show. Everyone who donated, You people are amazing. Thank you so much. And love you guys. I'm gonna scoot.
Appreciate you, brother, man. Thank you.
Bye,
We'll see you
Leroy.
soon. See you tomorrow. Yep. All right, Bubba. Camera looks good, by the way. So Leroy out of the house. Let's see. Sherry says, Matt, how to get more of your viewers on your posts and reels to come to the live potential donors, have your engagement there. Have Facebook stop throttling us. Stop Facebook, who we had, 126. Have them stop throttling us. Have them allow us to do our show and present it to our viewers. But when literally 0.01% of our followers show up because they don't even know we're on, it's unacceptable. This is what Facebook does to us. They always have done this to us, and it sucks. Now, you know people watch because when it benefits Facebook during Charlie Kirk, we had 900 people. No, we had 1,700 people on. How's that possible? So when we do election nights, we are up in the 800s. And the reason why is because at that point, they don't throttle anymore. Look at November and December. You look at our numbers, we were 250 plus 275 every single night. We have 50 people on. We've got 410,000 followers. How is that possible? Because every single show is getting throttled. Damani's getting throttled right now. Chicks on the Right are getting throttled right now. Tim Pool has 40 people on. Tim fucking Pool has 40 people on. How's that possible? So it's frustrating for us. And it you know, we're not going to quit. We're not going to give up. But unfortunately, we have to do different things. And people are like, well, go get a corporate sponsor. That's not the way it works. Without viewership, you don't get a corporate sponsor. So it comes down to the model we've decided is this donation model, and it works. And it's hard, though, because some people have been giving all they can. And when 10% of the people watching help out, it doesn't translate. So we're going to stay on until we hit it. If I got to stay on until 2 a.m, I can't have another night where we miss it. It's just the way it works. The problem is that every minute we stream, it costs money. So this is the quagmire we're in. Did you have something you want to chime in on that?
Yeah. I mean, any donations help. I mean, that $250, I mean, that's great. We appreciate any and all donations. So the small, the large, $1, $1,000, we appreciate them all the same.
Yeah. Yeah, and if you can't donate, a like is important. That helps the show tremendously.
Getting the word out, just sharing us out, and letting your friends know when we're on, and sharing the show and saying, "Hey, these guys are on. Come watch."
Yeah,
that helps too.
And what's shitty about it, and what sucks about it is, if this was a one-off, we just leave. But we didn't hit it last night, and you know, I get asked a lot. Well, why don't you take some time off? I can't. We can't. There's no way we can take off, because if you can't exceed your basic minimum, then you have to go to a maximum level of being on. And you know, we want to expand into the weekends. It's a tough week for us. It's honestly a tough month. May has been absolute shit, just horrible. And you know, that's it. So would rather keep focusing on the show, but I want you guys to understand. Facebook has been nothing but commercials lately, right? And they're not paying us. Facebook owes us probably $250,000 from where we were until they started throttling us. And they owe us for a video of $750, and they're not giving it to us. It's just, they're horrible. They're evil. It is what it is, but you need them in order to get the word out. Here is a video of the LA mayoral race. Thought this was pretty interesting. Let's give this a watch.
Campaign. There's the list of candidates in the mayor's race. Pratt is getting all the buzz, and there was a Democratic ad campaign against him that could be the biggest chance for an ad like that to backfire. Listen to what the Democrats put out.
Pratt opposes using taxpayer money to build brand new houses for our unhoused neighbors, saying it's time for the homeless to get help or get out. Pratt thinks LA needs thousands more police officers rather than more social workers.
A lot of people are saying, yeah, and so we should elect a mayor.
Well, the question is, you know, how.
So the mayoral race is up in the air right now. So there's so much instability here, but this is also true with the governor race. I told you guys that California is in a state of flux. there is a lot of red there, and so many people have fled this state, and deportations have been taking place that you're seeing a shift in the overall state. And there's a really good chance, although you're not going to see it go red, but you could see some of these challenging positions flip. And this is how it starts. This is how Texas started under Kennedy, and was predominantly a Democrat stronghold in a lot of ways. And it took Republicans making some changes to start appealing to Texas. This is how it happens, is you slowly see a change. Colorado was predominantly a red state, and then Democrat influence and people moved in, and it changed the country or the state. This is why Texas was so worried about. I know 42 people on Facebook. It's pathetic. It's just like, it's so fucking ridiculous how blatantly disrespectful it is that Facebook does this. It just sucks. It's such a shitty thing, because how in the hell do we have that number on Rumble when we've got 1,900 followers? How do we have that on YouTube? We've got 35, 40 people on when we've got 19,000 followers. How is it possible with 410,000 followers that we have 0.00001% of our followership on? It means that we're not being shown. We're not being seen. So anyway, this mayoral race is obviously a shift and a flux in California, and this has them worried, hence why they went ahead and sandbagged Swalwell and torpedoed his candidacy. Folks, last video, Adam Schiff. This is talking about whistleblowers. It's talking about how Schiff was leaking classified documents. This is kind of the next big thing I think you're going to see in the clean up the swamp efforts of President Trump. Here it is, and then we're leaving.
Serious than that, the chairman of the House Intel Committee doesn't have declassification authority over these types of documents. They are made available to Congress under very tightly controlled rules. This has been a source of tension for years. And members of both parties have gone out of their way to assure that this material would be closely held and not weaponized. Schiff was viewed as one of the most political chairs of that committee in its history. And this is a truly chilling account, if true. Now, when I first read it, frankly, I was taken aback, because it's perfectly moronic to commit such a felony with a planning conference meeting with staff. That's not usually how things are leaked in Washington, D.C. What makes this different, Will, is that this was a statement made to FBI agents. The person who made this statement was no doubt aware that lying to FBI agents is not just a crime, but a crime that was repeatedly prosecuted during prior administrations, including the Obama and Biden administrations.
Right.
So making this statement puts you at risk. That's why someone's lying here, and someone's a felon.
Okay, well, let's just for a moment hypothetically take this whistleblower at their word. Let's assume for a moment that it's true, Professor. What kind of punishment follows for leaking classified information?
Well, this is a very significant punishment. You can have, in addition to having multiple counts, you can easily go 10 years in terms of sentence, if not more, depending on the circumstances and the number of violations. Each of these leaks is an individual violation. Each of these documents would likely be charged as a violation. That type of count stacking is precisely what Mueller and others did. Remember, these are...
JD Stillwell says, the dumb show is better than $300 a night. The production value and interaction alone is a standalone in live broadcasting. We like to think so. We do. We really like to think so. Loretta is on the phone, wanted to call in and say hello. Loretta, we miss you, wondering how you're doing. You probably want to talk about Thomas Massey and the accused payoff of $60,000 to a freaky love affair, or maybe something else. How's it going, sister?
Oh, great. My home health nurse just gave me my freedom papers today.
Oh, good.
So no more home health nurse, no more physical therapy.
Good.
And, good.
Good. I'm
Had
glad.
a great day.
I'm glad you're feeling well. I'm glad you're feeling better. That's great news. I know Olivia's happy to hear that as well.
Yeah, my daughter took me over to Jesse Stewart Lodge in Greenock County for lunch at the lodge, the state park, for a good lunch, and then we went shopping for plants. And I just spent $100 today for got to weed eat my yard, and it's looking really good.
I'll come out and do it for free. Tommy Coughlin donated $5. Sorry, it's not more. Got medical bills trying to heal up the wound on my foot. Take care of yourself. We appreciate you tremendously. Loretta, $100 for weed eating?
Yes, and he did a fantastic job. Last time I spent like $300, and it still looks like crap.
JD Stillwell gave
yeah.
$50, Liv? Did I miss it?
No, you called it out.
Okay, I called it out.
Yeah.
At my house.
Loretta, I also we reached out for your size and stuff because you've been so helpful to the show. Olivia and I were going to order you a 250 shirt. We just thought that you would appreciate that, so we're going to send that to you. Kat Alkire donated $5. Thank you, Kat. We appreciate it. So that was what we were asking your size for, because we're sending one over to two people who were talking about it, and you've helped us out. And we wanted to try to help you out as well. So that's
well. I called because my tablet went dead, so it's on charge, and I was going to send in some money as soon as I got the tablet charged up.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. You hold on. You hold on to that. First of all, Sherry Starr donated $33.58. You hold on to that. We never want people to feel like we're going to go bankrupt tomorrow. That's not what we're trying to do. We're just trying to hit that 300 goal every single night, because that's what it's going to take to continue to keep the lights on. We're doing fine. We're going to be fine. We don't want anyone to feel so much pressure that they can't. No, you just keep that and do me a favor. And we just wanted to send you a shirt because you've been a longtime viewer. We know you're going through it, and we try to give back as much as we can. So we're going to do that, and we love you. Okay?
Oh, you. Well, now you're going to make me cry.
Don't cry. Just get Thomas Massey ousted. I hate that son of a motherless. So
he was here at Galring both here Saturday, and I didn't know it. And it's not like, I mean, we got less than 1,800 people in this. And they are attacking Ed like crazy about his record, and
he's just he's a horrible human being. He's a piece of crap.
Did you get the email that I sent you about Massey?
I did, and I need to go through it, and I need to read it over, but I do know that there's some things that you going to bed?
Yeah.
Good night. You guys come here real quick. Come here. No, you.
Yes.
Come here, come back.
Yeah.
Look, can you believe this kid?
My hair's wet, so.
Okay, easy, Fabio.
Doesn't look good right now.
So, homeboy's growing up. All right, get out of here.
You heard my phone, buddy?
Yep.
Get out of here. So, yeah, isn't he? Is he a good-looking kid? He looks just like his dad. He doesn't have his mom in him at all.
No. What'd he say?
He's like, I don't know what he said. Deirdre Daly, $75. Go have some family time. Yeah, we're gonna go do that.
Yeah, next week's gonna be a crazy week because both kids have their spring choir concerts Tuesday and Thursday.
Yeah,
and then Scott LeBeto's on Wednesday, and
then
Hayden's birthday is Friday. Sweet 16 on Friday.
Sherry Starr says, for everyone deployed and veterans, thank you. Wanted to thank everybody for helping and getting us here. It's just, listen, it's a little emasculating, There's times where you got to do it. You got to stay on and you got to push, and everyone's going through it. We understand that. So everybody, thank you so much for getting us there. Loretta, give us last words so we can get the hell out of here and go and relax.
So what that I shared that from Eric Dieters. And a military ex-policeman and has his own law firm. He shared that on his post, and I follow him, and he's down by Cincinnati in in Independence, Kentucky.
Yeah.
And you had showed a clip of him once before that he was running for something, and he's a no-nonsense guy. And
yeah.
He has that had that clip that I sent to you.
Yeah, I saw that.
There's a whole lot more to it than that, and he had two other women. So anyway,
I know he's dude. The guy's a freak, and I'm not. I can kind of sense people like that. Tommy Coffin says we need to figure out how to get your numbers up. It's consistency. That's all it is. It's you guys. A lot of it, the last 2 days, I have not been able to post on Facebook the way I wanted to because I was preparing for Chicks on the Right. So that's our interactions. And if we don't post videos and pictures that go successful, it struggles a little bit. We've been sitting at, 250 followers over the last 4 days. It's just been slow. This is what Facebook does. If they're not making revenue, they slow down productivity for everybody. This is just the way it is. It'll turn slow week. It's just the way it is. Okay. Loretta, I love you. We're going to read that. We'll probably talk about Massey tomorrow with Leeroy. I really want to dive into it, but I wasn't prepared tonight because I was up 6 o'clock focusing on Chicks on the Right. So that's where we're at.
I understand. I just wanted to make sure that you got it because I knew you'd be all over it like white on rice.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I am, and I'm aware of it, and now I just need to do a little more research. We'll get the shirt sent this weekend and get that out to you and Bobby. We love you. I'm going to let you go, okay?
Love you. It was a good show tonight.
Thank you,
I'm
ma'am.
watching you on now.
We appreciate you. Thank you, Loretta. So JD says, what do you want for your birthday? A Bo Nix helmet? If you got him anything, JD, you don't have to get him anything. But if you know what he loves, he's a Colorado Avalanche guy. He's a Denver Broncos guy. He loves anything. The fact that you got him that helmet, he's still over the moon and talks about it all the time. As far as Hayden. You don't need to get her anything, but
it's 10 days till her birthday, and we still don't know what she wants at this point. She hasn't narrowed it down.
She loves the boot barn. She wants cowgirl boots, and she wants stuff like that. I don't know, but she's a Taylor Swift fan. She loves Taylor Swift. She loves things about God. She loves the Bible. She loves all of that. But you guys don't need to do that. We've got our kids taken care of. We appreciate you and we love you. If you want to do that, that's up to you. Olivia will coordinate that with you. We're gonna go. We're gonna get off the show. It was a long night. I want to say thank you for everyone who made up our donation from last night and tonight. Thanks for doing that. It takes a little bit of the pride away by sitting on here and doing it. But you know what? Sometimes you got to make ends meet. So,
did you want to show that video real quick?
Oh yeah, I want to show Ethan.
Yeah, speaking of Ethan, he actually got a hit on Saturday.
So exciting. Here's Ethan at bat.
There it is, buddy. Woo! Go, go, go! Oh yeah. Go, 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 buddy, go! Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's got his swing back down and his step.
That was like perfect right there.
That was he took his hand off the bat. I want him to follow through and roll his wrist. Did he roll his wrist?
I don't know.
Nope, he didn't roll his wrist. If he would have rolled his wrist right here, that probably would have been in the outfield. But he kept his wrist back. So he's got to learn to roll the wrist. He'll get there because it would sweet spot on the bat a little bit better. Watch this again.
There it is.
So he hit it a little bit off the tip. So that's going to thud it. You can hear by the ding. When it's true sweet spot, it'll ping and ring like a bell. But he's learning, and he's making his eye contact. He kept his head on the ball.
There it is, buddy! Woo! Go, go, go!
Sorry about my really loud, annoying voice.
You're not annoying. And the good thing is that was his best friend that he hit it off of.
Oh, yeah, Levi, his best friend, was pitching, so we got a hit. Because last time they played, Levi struck him out. And then now he got a hit on him. And, man, they were chirping each other when Ethan was on the base. Yeah, and they're
good friends. And we all love them. Listen. Tammy says, I consistently show up. That's what I can do. That's your part. I guess that's what we're saying is everybody has to row. Mm-hmm. It's not about money always. Sometimes it's getting to 100 likes, right? That makes a difference. People see that and go, 100 likes on a show with 51 people watching. So those numbers are bullshit. There's no way we have 106 likes on Facebook with 51 people on average watching. You guys, we know it's bullshit. But that means that the algorithm is being throttled. So listen, we love you guys. We appreciate you guys. Like, share, subscribes, go buy a shirt. Donations help once in a while, whatever you can do. We thank you so very, very much, and it means the world. I hope you guys enjoyed the show tonight. This is one of those nights where we're kind of like, but the work we did today, we're very proud of, and that's important. So thank Olivia for a great job getting the Chicks on the Right. She got Scott Lebedo, and she is booking us all the way to October. So we'll see you guys tomorrow for a good show. Colorado Avalanche play tomorrow night, too. Have a good one. We love you guys. We appreciate you. And thanks for watching the Donut Friendly Show.
I'll see you guys Thursday.
Yeah. Good night, everybody. See ya. Bye.
Adjusting transmitter output.
This is the Don't Unfriend Me show with your hosts, Matt, Leeroy, Amy, and Olivia. Geopolitics, military analysis, and election coverage. Coming to you live on all major social media channels at The Dumb Show. Honest, direct, unfiltered. We can agree, we can disagree. Just don't unfriend me.